A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
The Jack Benny Program, transcribed, presented by Lucky Strike.
Be happy, go lucky, get better taste today.
Friends, smoking enjoyment depends on taste, and taste alone. Yes, in a cigarette, it's the taste that makes the difference. And you can taste the difference in a Lucky Strike. So mild, so smooth, so firm and fresh, with better taste in every puff. Yes, Lucky's taste better. And here's why. First, LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Fine, mild tobacco that tastes better. There's no substitute for fine tobacco, and don't let anybody tell you different. Second, Lucky's are made to taste better. In fact, they're the best made of all 5 principal brands. Yes, that's a fact, established by tests, measuring those important factors of workmanship that affect the taste of cigarettes. Tests made in the research laboratory of the American Tobacco Company and verified by leading independent laboratory consultants. So remember, your smoking enjoyment depends on taste, and taste alone. And you'll find Lucky's taste better. Always so mild, so smooth, so firm and fresh, with better taste in every puff. Make your next carton Lucky Strike.
Be happy, go Lucky Strike today.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Barry Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Well, ladies and gentlemen, last night, Jack Benny returned from his trip to New York. As we look in on him, he's going through his clothes closet and picking out some suits to send to the cleaners.
Let's see, I'll send this blue one, maybe the gray one. I wore that a couple of times in New York. Yeah, it better be cleaned. It's got lipstick all over the lapel. Gee, those subways are crowded. Oh, Rochester.
You call me, boss?
Yes, send these suits to the cleaners, will you please?
Yes, sir.
Where have you been for the past hour?
I've been straightening up my room.
Oh.
And I've been meaning to talk to you about my room for a long time, boss. It's getting kind of shabby, and I think it's time it was fixed up a little.
Fixed up?
Yeah, I wish you'd come take a look at it.
Okay, come on. I think you're making a mountain out of a molehill.
No, I'm not. My room is so old-fashioned.
Oh, stop exaggerating. Every time you want something done, you make a big thing out of it.
There, boss, take a look for yourself.
Roger, it's so dark in your room, I can't see a thing.
Wait a minute, I'll light the gas.
Yeah.
There, that's better.
Let's see now. It doesn't look... Rochester, you left your pajama pants on the floor.
Oh, yeah, I'll hang them up.
Those are just the pants. What'd you do with the tops?
Tops, you ought to know I don't wear them.
I ought to know why.
Don't you remember the ad I answered when I first came to work for you?
No, what did the ad say?
Wanted. Valet who only wears bottom of pajamas to work for gentleman who only wears tops.
Oh, yes, we've split about 6 pairs since then, haven't we? Now, let's see. Rochester, your room doesn't look so bad. What do you think you'd need?
Well, I thought I'd like to have Venetian blinds.
Why do you want Venetian blinds?
I don't want anybody to know I ain't got a window.
Oh, stop. It'll make you happy. I'll have them paint a window on your wall.
Have them painted closed. I don't want to catch cold.
All right, I will.
I'll get it, boss.
Hello, Rochester.
Oh, come on in, Miss Livingston. Welcome back from New York.
Well, thank you. Say, you look kind of happy today.
I am. Mr. Benny's going to redecorate my room.
Oh, that's nice.
Say, Miss Livingston, maybe you can tell me something. Every room in this house has electricity in it but the servants' room. Why does that room have gas?
Well, it was done for convenience.
Convenience?
Yes, anybody that works for Mr. Benny eventually wants to kill himself.
Who is it, Rochester?
It's me, Jack.
Oh, well, hello, Mary. What are you doing over here?
Well, I just got a special delivery letter from Mama with some exciting news.
Oh, a letter from your mother, eh? Well, what does the hostess on the shrimp boat have to say?
I'll read it to you.
Go ahead.
My darling daughter, Mary, I know you'll be surprised getting this letter so soon after having been here, but I have news. Your sister Babe is coming out to visit you.
Babe? Say, that's wonderful news.
No, it isn't.
Oh.
Listen to the rest of the letter. Mary, the reason Babe is coming out to California is to get away from here and all the sad memories. Her boyfriend Wilbur is gone, and he met a very sad end. He worked for a brewery and fell into a vat of beer. They saved him from drowning in the beer, but he died from pneumonia, which he caught from everybody trying to blow the foam off him.
Oh, that's a shame.
This next paragraph's about you.
About me?
Yes.
Oh.
Tell Jack that after he spent the night here, we found that he'd left his toupee and his toothbrush. So we're mailing them to him. The one with the handle is the toothbrush.
As if I wouldn't know. Mary, ask your mother if she can... Come in.
Oh, hello, Jack, Mary.
Don, you're up. You're well.
Gee, it's good to see you again, Don.
Well, thanks.
So you're finally over your nervous breakdown.
Yes, Mary, the third psychiatrist I went to cured me.
The third psychiatrist? What was wrong with the first two?
Their couches broke.
What'd you come by for, Don?
Well, I called the Sportsman's Quartet, and I was told that they were over here.
Yes, Don, and this time for our show, I had them prepare a song.
Oh, you did?
Yes, Don. You see, when you made your mistake on my TV show, and you said, be lucky, go happy, instead of be happy, go lucky, I wanted to make sure that you never make that mistake again. So I had the quartet prepare a number in which they give you excellent advice. Oh, boys! Now sit down, Don. Now listen to this carefully. Take it, fellows.
Remember the way you say, be happy, go lucky.
Remember, be happy must come first, and then comes go lucky. Remember, with LSMFT, you must get this slogan right. You see, if not, you'll wake up at NBC. Don't forget to remember you stood here at this mic and did the commercial that you like. If you want to stay with Lucky Strike, then don't forget to remember.
Now, boys, now tell Don how we'll all feel if he makes a mistake again.
We'll be missing you always. There'll be someone new always. Not for just LS, not for just MF, not for just FT, but always.
Well, Don, what do you think of that?
Jack, that was excellent advice, and I'm accepting it in the spirit in which it was given.
Good.
Well, I better be running along now. Come on, fellas.
So long, Don.
So long, Jack.
You know, Jack, it's good to see Don completely recovered.
It sure is.
Excuse me, Mr. Benny.
What is it, Rochester?
The cleaner just came and picked up your gray suit, and he told me to congratulate you.
Congratulate? Oh, I got that in the subway. You know, Mary, I've been thinking about your mother's letter. It'll be nice company for you having your sister Babe stay with you.
Yes, and while she's here, Jack, I wish you'd be kind of nice to her. You know, she's peeved at you for saying all those awful things about her on the radio.
Oh, well, I'll make it up to her. The first day that she comes, I'll have her over for dinner. I'll have Rochester make something special. What does she like?
She likes most everything, but she's especially fond of meat.
Well, I'll broil some steaks, Miss Livingston. How does your sister like her meat cooked?
I don't know. She's never had it that way.
Look, Mary, you told me not to... Excuse me. Hello?
Hiya, Jackson. I called to see if I could miss tomorrow's rehearsal.
Tomorrow's rehearsal?
Yeah, I'm going to have a tooth pulled. That upper molar that has the bridge attached to it.
Oh, that's too bad. When did the tooth start hurting you?
1935.
1935? That was 17 years ago. Why did you have it pulled out then?
Because the fellow told me I could ease the pain by holding a mouthful of bourbon.
Oh, did it work?
Gloriously.
But, Phil, how could you hold whiskey in your mouth for 17 years?
I didn't hold it, Jackson. I just let it flow under the bridge.
Well, okay, Phil, I guess you can miss rehearsal. Goodbye.
So long, Dad.
Oh, say, Phil.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a little favor of you. My sponsor may be in town to see the show Sunday, and I'd like everything to be as dignified as possible.
What about it?
Well, please speak to Sammy, your drummer, and ask him to take the silhouette of that bathing beauty off of his bass drum.
That ain't no silhouette.
It isn't?
No, there's a midget inside there.
Well, get her out of there.
All right. So long, Buster.
Goodbye. You know, Mary, that Phil really is a character,
You
isn't he?
didn't say that again, Jack.
Yeah, say it again, Mr. Benny.
Dennis, when did you come in?
While you were talking on the phone.
Oh,
I came over to see if you let me use your piano to rehearse my song.
I guess so. But, Dennis, you have a piano at home.
I know, but I can't get in my house. It's quarantined on account of smallpox.
Smallpox? Oh, that's awful. Who's got it?
Me.
What?
Well, Dennis, you look fine. What makes you think you have smallpox?
Well, it must be me. My mother and father hung a quarantine sign in front of our house, and they haven't got it.
Dennis, look, I've got news for you. There's no smallpox in your house. Your parents are just trying to get rid of you.
Oh, well, if they're trying to get rid of me, why don't they do it in the usual way?
Well, what's the usual way?
Well, they start a game of blind man's buff, and while I'm it, they move.
Look, Dennis, you can't blame your mother and father for wanting to get away from you occasionally. You drive people nuts with your silly talk. Why do you act this way?
Well, I have a good excuse. Once while my mother was bathing me, she dropped me on my head.
When you were a baby?
No, last week.
You had to ask her, Mary. I was going to leave it alone. You had to ask her. Dennis, my piano's over there. Rehearse your song and go already.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
If your sweetheart sends a letter of goodbye, it's no secret you'll feel better if you cry. When waking from a bad dream, don't you sometimes think it's real? But it's only false emotion that you feel. If your heartache seems to hang around too long, and your blues keep getting bluer with each song, remember sunshine can be found behind a cloudy sky. So let your hair down and go on and cry. If sunshine can be found behind a cloudy sky. So let your hair down and go on and
Janice, you sang that very well, but then why shouldn't you? You have such a wonderful voice, and it's such a beautiful song.
Whatever happened to that lousy song you wrote?
What?
You went all the way to New York to try to get it published. What an awful thing that is. When you say, I beg your pardon, then I'll come back to you.
Dennis, be quiet.
Huh?
When I came back from New York, I called you and everybody else and told them not to ask Jack about this song.
Mary, you called everybody?
Yes, Jack. I know how sensitive you are about what happened in New York, and I didn't want anyone to hurt your feelings.
Well, I appreciate your thoughtfulness, Mary, but you didn't have to do that. Just because I was unlucky in New York is no reflection on my song. I mean, even if they didn't want to publish it, the public loves it.
I'm more popular than that song, and I've got smallpox.
You have not. And Dennis, please, leave me alone. Go already.
But I can't get in my house.
Just get out of mine. Now go.
Come on, Dennis. Let's leave Jack alone. I'll drive you home.
Okay. Goodbye, Mr. Benny.
Bye, Jack.
Goodbye. Smart aleck kid. What does he know about songs? Mine has beautiful lyrics. Like the swallows at Serrano, return to Capistrano. Oh, gee, I'm still tired from that trip. I think I'll go to bed.
How come you're going upstairs, Mr. Benny?
I'm a little tired, so I'm going to turn in early.
Well, I'll come up and make the bed for you.
Okay.
By the way, boss, I haven't had a chance to tell you, but I'm sorry your song was turned down in New York.
Well, I guess. Wait a minute, Rochester. I haven't mentioned a word about it to you. How'd you know my song was turned down?
When you got off the train, you were crying.
Well...
I haven't seen you so upset since the bank holiday in 1933.
Never mind. Gee, these shoes are tough to get off.
Here's your pajama tops.
Thanks. Wow, look at the color of them. Bright purple. Gee, the bed feels good.
Are you going to read a while?
No, Rochester. Turn out the light, please.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Good night, Rochester. Oh, boy, I'm sure tired. That trip to New York took a lot out of me. I'll feel better after a good night's sleep. I've still got a lot of faith in my song. Those 378 publishers I went to could be wrong. That song will be a classic someday. When you say, I beg your pardon, then I'll come back to you. When you ask me to forgive you, I'll return. Like the swallows.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. There is quite a bit of excitement here tonight as the entire musical world gathers for the opening performance of the New York Symphony Orchestra here at Carnegie Hall.
Gee, I'm at Carnegie Hall.
Yes, this is a night that will long live in the memory of music lovers the world over, for it will witness the premiere performance of that classical composition When you say, I beg your pardon, then I'll come back to you.
That's my song. My song. The New York Symphony is going to play my song.
However, before the conductor ascends the podium, we have a few minutes which I will use to describe the scene to you. This vast hall resembles a who's who of the music world. The seats are filled with such famous personages as Arturo Toscanini, Sir Thomas Beecham, and Andre Castellanos in the first row. In the second row, I see Alfred Wallenstein and Jascha Heifetz. Sitting on an aisle seat, I see Arthur Rubinstein. And sitting under an aisle seat is Phil Harris. I will try to interview him. Ah, yes, I have caught his attention. He is coming this way. I'll see if I can get him to say a few words. Oh, Maestro Harris.
What is it, Clyde?
Maestro, I understand that you are an associate of the composer we're honoring tonight.
Yeah, that's right. Everybody associated with him is here tonight. That is, everybody except Dennis Day.
Oh? And tell me, Maestro, why isn't Mr. Day here?
He couldn't come. His house is guaranteed. That's quarantine!
Stupid Maestro.
Maestro Harris is going back to his seat with a big smile for everyone.
Why shouldn't he smile? He's got the happiest teeth in town.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're quite fortunate. Another of the composer's associates, Miss Mary Livingston, is here. I'll see if I can interview her. Oh, Miss Livingston? Miss Livingston?
Yes?
Did you come all the way from California to hear this concert?
Well, I didn't have to. You see, I was already here. I was visiting my family in Plainfield, New Jersey.
Oh, yes. Your family has a farm there.
That's right.
Is it a large farm?
Oh, just average. 60 chickens, 12 pigs, and 4.5 cows.
4.5 cows?
My sister Babe loves meat.
Oh.
Gee, I hope Babe ate the front half so they can still milk it.
Now, ascending the podium is the head of New York's largest musical publishing company, Mr. Martin Jones. Oh, wait a minute. Mr. Jones is acting peculiar. He's taken a revolver from his pocket. He's ascending the podium. He is holding the pistol to his head. He's about to say something.
I'm killing myself because I turned down this wonderful song. Oh.
Mr. Jones has descended the podium. And now the great moment has arrived. The lights dim and a hush falls over the audience as Sergei Dimitrikov, the maestro who will conduct tonight, ascends the podium. He raps his baton, and the orchestra starts tuning up. This is a strange thing. The silhouette on the bass drum is dancing.
And Sammy never got her out of there.
And now the maestro is turning to the audience. He is about to speak. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you Sergei Dimitrikov.
How do you do? And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's my extreme pleasure to introduce the famous composer of that wonderful song, When You Say I Beg Your Pardon, Then I'm Coming Back to You. And here he is, Mr. Jigbeni.
Jigbeni. That's me ascending the podium.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Benny looks distinguished in those gray spats, striped pants, white tie, and purple pajama top.
Where did I get the striped pants?
Mr. Benny is going to honor this audience tonight by joining the orchestra as first violinist. The conductor is commanding the attention of the entire ensemble. All eyes are on him, including those of the silhouette. He raises his baton, And now, ladies and gentlemen, the orchestra plays When You Say I Beg Your Pardon, Then I'll Come Back to You.
Whenever you want the smooth, mellow, completely enjoyable taste of truly fine tobacco, reach for a Lucky. For the difference between just smoking and really enjoying your smoke is the taste of a cigarette. And Lucky's taste better for two important reasons. First, LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Fine, mild tobacco that tastes better. There's no substitute for fine tobacco, and don't let anybody tell you different. Second, Lucky's are made to taste better. In fact, they're the best made of all 5 principal brands. Yes, you'll be happy when you go Lucky, because Lucky's taste better. So mild, so smooth, so firm and fresh, with better taste in every puff. So next time you buy cigarettes, try a carton of Lucky's. You'll find Lucky's taste better.
Be happy, go Lucky Strike today.
Oh, boss.
Huh? Oh, hello, Rochester.
Boss, I hate to wake you up. You had such a smile on your face, but it's time for dinner.
Thanks, Rochester. I just had the most wonderful dream.
Well, boss, there's an old saying that if you put a wishbone under your pillow, your dreams will come true.
A wishbone?
Yes. Boss, by the way, what were you dreaming about?
Well, I dreamt that the New York Symphony played my song.
Well, there's no use killing a chicken just for that.
I guess not. Good night, folks.
By Lucky Strike, product of the American Tobacco Company, America's leading manufacturer of cigarettes. This is Don Wilson reminding you to listen to Your Hit Parade with Guy Lombardo every Thursday night, presented by Lucky Strike. Consult your newspaper for time and station. The Jack Benny program has been selected as one of the programs to be heard by our armed forces overseas through the facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Stay tuned for the Cincinnati show that follows immediately.
That's right. This is the CBS Radio Network.
The Jack Benny program, presented by Lucky Strike.
Be happy-go-lucky, get better taste today.
Friends, smoking enjoyment depends on taste, and taste alone. Yes, in a cigarette, it's the taste that makes the difference. And you can taste the difference in a Lucky Strike. So mild, so smooth, so firm and fresh, with better taste in every puff. Yes, Lucky's taste better, and here's why. First, LSMFT, Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Fine, mild tobacco that tastes better. There's no substitute for fine tobacco, and don't let anybody tell you different. Second, Lucky's are made to taste better. In fact, they're the best made of all 5 principal brands. Yes, that's a fact established by tests, measuring those important factors of workmanship that affect the taste of cigarettes. Tests made in the research laboratory of the American Tobacco Company and verified by leading independent laboratory consultants. So remember, your smoking enjoyment depends on taste, and taste alone. And you'll find Lucky's taste better. Always so mild, so smooth, so firm and fresh, with better taste in every puff. Make your next carton Lucky Strike.
Be happy-go-lucky, go Lucky Strike today.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Moore. And now let's go out to Jack Benny's home in Beverly Hills. At the moment, Rochester's cleaning house.
What a day. So far, I did the washing and ironing, scrubbed the floors, and cleaned the woodwork. Doggone, I sure hate February. Mr. Benny makes me work 3 hours a day longer because it's the shortest month. Well, I better get on with it.
Answer the door, answer the door.
Quiet, Polly. I'll get it. Oh, good morning, Mr. Mailman.
Good morning, Rochester. There was too much mail to put in the box, so I thought I'd bring it in. Here are the letters.
Thank you.
And here are Mr. Benny's magazines. Lonely Hearts. Woman's Home Companion. Body Beautiful. And here's the Wall Street Journal.
That's for me.
Oh, yes, it is for you, Rochester. Do you own stock?
I have 2 shares of Mr. Benny. He's incorporated himself.
Oh.
I bought it at 39, and it's been there for 10 years.
I see. Well, I must be getting along.
Is that all the mail you have for Mr. Benny?
No, I'm still carrying that letter with postage due on it. But I guess there's no use going through that again.
No, I guess not. How long ago was that letter mailed?
I don't know. It was handed down to me by my father. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Well, I'll put this mail over by...
Who was at the door, Rochester?
Oh, good morning, boss. It was the mailman.
Oh.
Nothing for you, Polly.
Hello, Polly.
Hello, Daddy.
Say, Mr. Benny, I didn't get a chance to show you what I taught Polly a few days ago.
Something you taught Polly?
Watch this, Mr. Benny. Now, Polly, why was last Friday, February 22nd, a holiday?
Because it was Washington's,
Come on, Polly. It was Washington's what?
Now, come on, Polly. It was Washington's what?
Washington's what?
No, Polly. It was Washington. It was Washington. I'll give you a hint. Da-da-da-da-da-dum. Da-da-da-da-da-dum.
Motorola TV.
Never mind, Rochester. She lays an egg every day. What else do we want? What's in the mail, Rochester?
Here's a letter from Max Factor.
From Max Factor? What does it say?
Dear Mr. Benny, this is the 3rd letter we've sent you reminding you that your January payment is past due. Either pay immediately or we'll snatch it off your head.
Let them snatch it. We'll have warm weather pretty soon. Let's see. What's this? Oh, this is from the California Bank. It's another letter about that loan.
What are you going to do, boss?
I'm going to turn them down. Now, let's see. This is funny. Here's one from the barber shop on the corner. Dear Mr. Benny, we are writing to all of our customers who got shaved last Saturday. Are you missing an ear? P.S. If not called for in 30 days, we will put it with our collection. Is there anything else, Rochester?
Just a circular. You won't be interested in it.
Well, let me see it. Now is the time to buy a new car. We're making very liberal allowances on trade-ins. Say, you know, Rochester, maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea if I traded in my Maxwell and maybe get a new... I'll answer it, Rochester. You can take the mail up to my room.
Oh, hello, Jack.
Mary, come on in.
Well, what job have you got picked out for me? Cleaning out your garage or mowing the lawn?
Well, you can't move the lawn, I know that. The very first line. She just got here. Mary, I don't know what you're talking about. You're only supposed to be on my show.
I know, but I won't get paid for February unless I do some extra work.
Oh. Well, I stopped that last year when you fell off the roof into the tar bucket, you know. Say, Mary, I just got this circular from an automobile company, and I've been thinking maybe I ought to trade in my car and buy another one.
Well, it's about time. What are you going to get? An Essex or a Stutz?
Oh, don't be funny. I'm going to get a real... Come in. Oh, hello, Dennis.
Hello.
Come on in, kid.
Thanks. How do you feel, Mr. Benny?
Fine.
How's everything going?
All right.
You know, I wasn't going to come over today, but there's something I think you ought to know.
What's that?
I'm suing you for $50,000.
What?
Dennis, what's this all about? Why are you suing Mr. Benny?
Well, because last week on his radio show where millions of people could hear, he called me stupid.
Well, Dennis, why are you suing me now? For years I've been calling you stupid.
Well, I want to be addressed with dignity. My name is Dennis F. Day.
Well, what does the S stand for?
If I told you, I'd lose my case.
I thought so.
Well, anyway, after I collect the $50,000 from you, I'm suing someone else who called me stupid.
Who's that?
My lawyer.
Look, Dennis, I don't want to hear any more of this silly talk about suing people. Instead of that, let me hear the song you're going to sing on Sunday's program.
Okay.
What's the name of it?
Sweet Sue.
Now cut that out! Just sing your song.
And when I hear you call so softly to me, I don't hear a call at all. I hear a rhapsody. And when your sparkling eyes are smiling at me, then soft through a starlit sky, I hear a rhapsody. My days are so blue when you're away. My heart longs for you. Oh, won't you stay, my darling? Hold me tight and whisper to me for you. Oh, won't you stay, my darling? Hold me tight and whisper to me when soft through a starry night I'll hear
Dennis, that was beautiful, and I liked the song very, very much. Now, why don't you just run along?
Oh, I can't leave now. I gotta go into your house and spray for termites.
What?
This is February, and I'd like my full salary.
All right, Dennis, but this time crawl out when you're through. Don't wait for Groundhog Day. Say, Mary.
Hey, that's my uncle's name.
What's your uncle's name?
Groundhog Day.
Look, Dennis, just get under the house.
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Hiya, Jackson. I'm calling from the country club, and I thought maybe you'd come out and play some golf.
Well, I don't think I can today, Phil. You see, I'm going out and buy a new car.
Operator, you gave me the wrong number.
He did not. It's me. It's me. I am going to buy a car.
Oh. What kind of car are you going to get, Jackson?
Well, I don't know. I was thinking of getting a Cadillac.
Operator. Why can't I get
You got the right number. Phil, I told you it's me. You asked me if I wanted to play golf. I told you I couldn't. Why don't you call Remley?
I called Remley. He's here right now.
Oh, Frankie's with you, eh?
Yeah, he's sitting over at the table drinking a glass of milk.
Operator! Somebody else is on.
No, Jackson, it's me. It's me.
Oh. Well, what? Well, what's this about Frankie drinking milk?
Doctor's orders. He's drinking too much bourbon.
Oh.
And that caused a shortage of calcium in his system.
Uh-huh.
So the doctor made him drink milk.
Oh, so he could get more calcium?
Yeah, that'll make his teeth stronger.
Why does he want to strengthen his teeth?
So he can pull the corks out of bourbon bottles.
What?
You can't gum them things, you know.
I know. Phil, goodbye.
Hey, say, Jackson.
What?
I know it's February, but do you mind if I paint your house in April?
Yes, that'll be all right.
And then I'll move the lawn.
No, I won't. Go on. Mary, that was Phil. He wanted me to play golf.
I know. Say, Jack, if you're really serious about trading in your car, you better do it now.
Now?
Yeah.
Well, Mary, maybe I ought to first... Dennis, quiet down there. Mary, do you really think I should trade my car in?
Yes, and I know you. If you put it off, you'll never do it.
Well...
Well, Jack, if you do it now, I'll go with you. Come on, let's go.
Well, all right. Maybe I can get a good trade-in. Rochester, get my car out, will you, please?
Yes, sir.
Rochester, the traffic's pretty heavy. Take it easy.
Jack, what kind of a car do you think you'll get?
Well, I'm not sure. All of the new models look so nice, and they have so many novel features. You know, Mary, maybe I ought to get a Nash. I like the way the seats make up into beds. What are you laughing at?
You'll have the only car in the country that takes in boarders.
I wasn't thinking of that, Mary. I just thought that...
Hey, boss, how long have we been driving?
About 14 minutes.
Then I better find a service station fast.
A service station? What's wrong, Rochester?
Nothing yet, but every time this car drives 15 minutes, the radiator heats up.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Rochester, did all that water come from the radiator?
It ain't from the little white cloud that cries.
Rochester, what does the water gauge say?
Have faith in all kinds of weather.
Now stop that and pull over. Well, I guess we'll just have to sit here a few minutes now until it cools off.
Say, Emily, isn't that Jack Benny over there?
Where?
Over there in that Stanley steamer.
Martha, that isn't a Stanley steamer. It's a Maxwell that blew its top.
Then it is my dream man. Steady, girl. Steady.
You really have a crush on him, haven't you?
Yes. Did you see him on his last television show?
Uh-huh.
When he choked Barbara Stanwyck. How I wish it had been me.
You know, Martha, he does his next television show 2 weeks from today.
In 2 weeks? Oh, I'm sorry you told me. I'll be a nervous wreck waiting.
I know.
And Emily, I've got a confession to make. This month, I sent Mr. Benny a Valentine poem.
Did he get it?
He must have. I put it in my laundry bundle.
In your laundry bundle? I'll bet he didn't even answer it.
He did, too. He wrote, "Your lovely poem made me shake and shiver. And starting March 1st, we pick up and deliver."
That was very sweet. Well, come on, Martha, or we'll be late for the wrestling matches.
Oh, yes.
Rochester, the car should be cool enough now. Let's go.
Jack, this street we're coming to is Figueroa. That's Automobile Row.
Yeah, turn right here, Rochester.
Yes, sir.
Gosh, look at all the automobile dealers on this street. The Smiling Irishman, the Lucky Dutchman, Madman Muntz, Psychiatric Sam, Wild Man Pritchard. Ah, here's the place we want. Just Plain Bill. Stop in front of this place, Rochester. Come on, Mary. I'm going to look at the new cars first.
Okay. Gosh, Jack, they certainly have some beautiful cars on display here.
Yeah.
How do you do? May I help you?
Yes, I'm thinking of buying a new car.
Well, you've come to the right place. Were you thinking of any particular type?
Well, this car here looks awfully nice.
Yes, Jack, it's really a sporty-looking number.
Get inside and see how roomy it is.
Okay. Gee, it sure is comfortable. And say, what are these buttons here?
Oh, those are for the windows. I'll show you how they work.
Gee.
Didn't you know the new cars had automatic window lifts?
He didn't even know they had windows.
Mary, please. What other new features do they have?
I'm glad you asked that.
Uh-huh.
Now, this is the only car on the market that comes equipped with the Dynaflex Superflowing Unijet Turbo Vasculator, which is synchro-meshed with the multi-coil hydrotension duo vacuum dynamometer.
Gosh. What does that do for the car?
It empties the ashtray.
Well, that's quite a feature. Do you think I ought to get this car, Mary?
Oh, certainly. I wouldn't think of having a car that's not equipped with the Dynaflex Superflowing Unijet Turbo Vasculator, which is synchro-meshed with the multi-coil hydrotension duo vacuum dynamometer.
That she got right, but she moved the lawn. You know, the more I see of this car, the more I like it. But tell me, Mr.
Call me Plain Bill.
Well, look, Plain Bill. What are all these other buttons for?
Well, they're for the heater, the lights, and the top.
Uh-huh. But what's this red button for?
Oh, that red button is for emergencies.
Emergencies?
Yes, like if you stall the car on the railroad tracks and a train is coming at 100 miles an hour, you press the red button.
And that gets the car off the tracks?
No, it puts a tag on your big toe.
You know, Jack, this is one of the prettiest convertibles I've ever seen. Why don't you take it?
I think I will, Mary. Tell me, Plain Bill, what's the price of this car?
$4,200.
Say, mister, do the windshield wipers on this car squirt water when you press the button?
Yes.
Well, squirt some on him. He fainted.
I didn't faint, Mary. Just that $4,200 is a lot of money.
Oh, but don't forget we do make liberal allowances on trade-in.
Well, my car's right outside. Suppose you come along with us and appraise it.
Oh, I'll be happy to. If you'll pardon me for just a moment, I'll go and get my appraisal book.
Certainly. You know, Mary, maybe you're right about my getting another car. After all, I've had my Maxwell, you know.
Jack, isn't that Don Wilson over there looking at a new car?
Yeah. Gee, Mary, Don didn't tell me he was thinking of buying a car. I was with him yesterday. He didn't even mention it.
Well, mister, how do you like it? Oh, say, that's the prettiest convertible I ever saw. How much is it?
$4,800.
$4,800?
That includes the initials on the door.
Well, that's fine. Will you get the man who puts the initials on?
Oh, I'll do it myself right now. What initials would you like?
LSMFT.
You have 3 middle names?
No. LSMFT means Lucky Strike means fine tobacco.
Oh, I see.
And put a dash between LS and MFT.
A dash. Like this?
That's it. Now, could you make the dash so it looks like a Lucky Strike cigarette?
Sure. How's that?
Fine. Only, could you make that Lucky Strike round and firm and fully packed?
Sure. Watch this.
Careful. No loose ends.
I'll be careful. There you are. It's all finished.
Good. Now, how much is that?
I told you the car is $4,800.
I don't want the car. I just want the door.
The door? Oh, very well. There you are.
Just charge it to my account.
Yes.
Jack, did you see that?
Yes, Mary, and you should see Don's garage. No cars, just doors.
I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. Shall we go?
Yes, Plain Bill.
Now, which one of these cars is yours?
This is it, right here.
Oh, you're joking.
Well, I'll admit it doesn't look like much right now, but a little paint and polish, and she'll be as good as new.
What did you get, boss? A convertible or a sedan?
Well, nothing yet. This gentleman's going to praise ours. Now, Plain Bill, my car has a lot of advantages that the new cars haven't got.
Yeah, if you like tea, it boils water every 15 minutes.
Oh, stop. This man is a good judge of cars. Now, Plain Bill, get in and I'll show you how it runs. Come on, Mary. Start the car, Rochester.
Yes, sir.
Gee, the motor seems to be laboring a little harder than usual.
Jack, it's February.
Oh, yes. Try it again, Rochester. There it goes.
You want me to drive around the block, boss?
Just a second. If I'm going to appraise this car, I'd better drive.
No, I'll drive. You shovel the coal.
Never mind. You better let him drive, Plain. He's more... he's more used to it.
Well, it is irregular, but okay.
See, I told you, it rides very smoothly, doesn't it?
Oh, it's not bad.
Now, Plain Bill, How much of a trade-in do you think you can give me on my car?
Well, let me see. There's a little rubber left on the tires. The body needs a paint job. The upholstery isn't too bad. The motor runs. Look, would the deal include the car's radio?
Yes. Now, how much will you allow me on the car, including the radio?
$3.
What? I wouldn't think of trading in this car for $3. It's perfect mechanically. They don't make cars like this today. Everything's built to last for years and give you the most excellent service. And
Plain Bill.
Yes?
Lemon or cream?
Lemon in mine, Mary. Now, Bill, all kidding aside, how much will you allow me on my car?
I told you $3, and that's all I'm going to give you for this piece of junk.
Junk? That settles it. Rochester, stop the car. Plainville, I'll thank you to get out.
It will be a pleasure. Goodbye.
Rochester, take me home.
You know, boss, if you're not going to get a new car, why don't you have this one fixed up? Put some of those modern things on it.
Like what?
Like the Dynaflex Superflowing Unit Jet Turbo Vasculator, which is synchronized with the multi-coil, hydro-tension, dual vacuum, dynamometer.
No, then I just have to go out and buy an ashtray. Step on it, Rochester. I want to get home.
Jack will be back in just a moment, but first...
Be happy, go lucky, get better taste today.
Friends, whenever you want the smooth, mellow, completely enjoyable taste of truly fine tobacco, reach for a Lucky. For the difference between just smoking and really enjoying your smoke is the taste of a cigarette. And Lucky's taste better for two important reasons. First, LSMFT. Lucky Strike means fine tobacco. Fine, mild tobacco that tastes better. There's no substitute for fine tobacco, and don't let anybody tell you different. Second, Lucky's are made to taste better. In fact, they're the best made of all 5 principal brands. Yes, you'll be happy when you go Lucky, because Lucky's taste better. So mild, so smooth, so firm and fresh, with better taste in every puff. So next time you buy cigarettes, try a carton of Lucky's. You'll find Lucky's taste better.
Be happy, go lucky strike today.
Jack, are you going to stop off at any other car dealers?
No, I've made up my mind. I'm going home. This one will have to do until we...
Jack, what happened? Your hair is gone.
It's my fault, Miss Livingston. I never should have driven by match factors.
All right, let him keep it.
The Jack Benny program is brought to you by Lucky Strike, product of the American Tobacco Company, America's leading manufacturer of cigarettes. This is Don Wilson reminding you to listen to Your Hit Parade with Guy Lombardo every Thursday night, presented by Lucky Strike. Consult your newspaper for time and station. The Jack Benny program has been selected as one of the programs to be heard by our armed forces overseas through the facilities of the Armed Forces Radio Service. Stay tuned for the Amos Mandy Show, which follows immediately. This is the CBS Radio Network. From Palm Springs, California, the Jack Benny program with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we're broadcasting from Palm Springs, California. This being such a romantic spot, I'd like to make the opening introduction with a little poem.
A poem?
Nestled in the hills, far away from care, is a place we go to breathe the desert air. And there, out by the pool, far from strife and toil, is our blue-eyed star selling suntan oil. And here he is, Jack Benny.
Thank you. Hello again. This is Jack Benny talking. And, Don, since we're in a poetic mood, I've written a poem for you, too.
Oh, you have?
Yes. I did not like your jingle, and if one more joke you tell, it's Bon Voyage, Don Wilson, and Welcome Home, Von Zell. So let's not have any more of your poems, eh, Henry Wadsworth, fat fellow?
Now, wait a minute, Jack. If you get fresh with me, I'll follow you around all day and keep you in the shade.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Well, anyway, it's sure good to get back to Palm Springs, isn't it, Don?
Yes, Jack. I always have a wonderful time here.
I do, too, particularly because a fellow can have such privacy here. You know, Don, yesterday I passed a big crowd in front of the drugstore, and not one person turned around or even bothered to look at me.
Really? Well, Jack, why was there such a crowd gathered?
They were getting Eddie Cantor's autograph. Imagine.
But, Jack, if you say people here have so much privacy, why did they ask Eddie Cantor for his autograph?
They didn't ask him.
They didn't?
No. Don, when a man stops you on the street, sings 2 choruses of Ida, then stamps his name on your forehead, there's nothing you can do about it. What an eager beaver.
Jack, you're just mad at Eddie because he beat you on the golf course yesterday.
Sure, but he wouldn't have beaten me if he'd have played fair.
Fair?
Yes, imagine this, Don. When we both got on the last green, just as I was getting ready to putt, he put down a dime to mark his ball.
What's wrong with that?
He divided my point of interest. Then when I missed the putt, I got so mad I took a swing at the dime and sliced it right into my pocket. The first hole in one I ever made. Anyway, Don, I'm glad you mentioned golf because tonight our program is dedicated to the formal opening of the new Tamarisk Country Club here in Palm Springs. And it's really one of the most beautiful
Pardon me, but does this dull twosome mind if a funny man plays through?
Oh, hiya, folks. Well, look who's here, Sir Thomas Beecham. Say, Phil, Don and I were just talking about Tamarisk, the beautiful new golf course. Since you're such a good golfer, Phil, you'll love it.
Yeah, I know, Jackson. I played in the tournament out there yesterday. It is. It's a great course.
I thought I saw you out there yesterday, Phil. You were playing with some of your musicians, weren't you?
No.
Well, I saw Remley, Sammy, and Fletcher going around the course with you.
Yeah, but they weren't playing. Remley was carrying my bag.
Well, what was Sammy doing?
He was carrying Remley.
Well, what was Fletcher doing?
He was carrying the stuff that made it necessary for Sammy to carry Remley.
Oh, yes, Remley is your handicap.
He ain't no water hazard.
I know.
Hey, Jackson, how about you and me playing out at Tamarisk someday?
Okay, Phil, maybe we can make a match.
Yeah, what do you usually go around then?
Well, my handicap is... Hey, wait a minute. Hey, Don, watch me get him this time. Phil, ask me that again, will you?
Ask you what again?
What do you usually go around in?
Shorts or slacks, depending on the weather. Oh, Harris, Sammy may be carrying Remley, but you're carrying this program.
Phil, if that joke is carrying the program, I'd rather dragged a little bit. Anyway, I'll play golf with you anytime you want to.
Okay, Jackson, how much you want to bet?
I don't want to bet anything. All I want you to do is every time we get on the green, mark your ball with a dime.
A dime? Why?
I got a slice that'll make me a fortune. Say, Don, if you'd like to play a Tamarisk sometime, I'll get you...
Hey, Jackson, I heard you and Don reciting poetry before.
So what?
Hey, I got one that's a fifth.
A poem?
Yeah. It's about the weather that we had yesterday. Listen to this. I was getting some sun. Then I went inside, 'cause the little white cloud sat down and cried.
Isn't that cute? That's very cute. Well, I was pretty good, you know. I expected some... Oh, hello, Dennis.
Hello, Mr. Benny. Hello, everybody.
Well, Dennis, I hope you're having as much fun in Palm Springs as we are.
I sure am, but boy, am I tired.
Tired? What have you been doing?
Well, last night I went to the movies and I had to stand for 2 hours.
That crowded, huh?
No, there was plenty of room.
Then why'd you have to stand in the movies?
I went to a drive-in and I didn't have a car.
Now, wait a minute, Dennis. How did you get into a drive-in without a car?
Oh, I was carrying an umbrella and they thought I was a convertible.
Oh, stop being silly. What's that on your nose?
A windshield wiper.
What? Now cut that out! Windshield wiper. I suppose that thing on your forehead is your license number.
No, Eddie Cantor's autograph.
Oh, yeah. Now, Dennis, stop being silly and answer me. Are you having a good time?
Oh, I'll say. Friday night I went to the Chi-Chi and saw Sally Rand. I never laughed so hard in all my life.
You know, Don, the weather here has been so beautiful today. I think
Wait a minute, hold it. Let's go back here a minute. Look, didn't you listen to what this kid just said?
I listened to it, heard it, and ignored it.
Well, I ain't going to ignore it. Dennis, you went to the Chi-Chi and saw Sally Rand's act?
Uh-huh.
The Sally Rand?
Uh-huh.
And when you finally saw Sally Rand's act, you, laughed?
Yeah, I was sitting up so close those fans tickled.
Don't look to me for sympathy, Bill. Years of experience have taught me that the only way to get along with Dennis have nothing more to do with him than is necessary. Like this, for instance. Now, Dennis, we're doing a program and you have to do a song.
Yes, sir.
What song are you going to sing?
The date boats are coming.
You mean shrimp boats?
This is Palm Springs, Bud.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and sing. Mistake, sung by Dennis Day and accompanied by Phil Harris and his stumbling tumbleweed orchestra. And now, folks...
Hold it, Melvin. Just a minute. Just slow up a minute.
Huh?
I mean, look, I don't mind so much when we're at home, but when we're out of town, let's don't be making insulting remarks about the orchestra, huh?
Well, Phil, I got a right to make comments about your band. After all, who's the star of this show?
Well, when I see my paycheck, I know it ain't me.
Oh, stop complaining.
I'm not complaining, Jackson. It's just that I'd like to pay income tax like everybody else. But they don't even think I'm a citizen.
Phil, the only reason people don't think you're a citizen is because with that bottle of Lord Calvert in your hand all the time, you look like an Englishman. Such a long line for such a little laugh. So don't argue with me about money, salary, or... Come in.
Hello, Mr. Benny.
Well, Mr. Kitzel. Mr. Kitzel, it's certainly nice seeing you. What are you doing here in Palm Springs?
Oh, I just came down for a little visit.
Oh, good. Where are you living?
At the Hacienda Paseo de la Sal.
The Hacienda Paseo de la Sal?
Sal is my brother-in-law.
Oh, he's married to your sister?
Yeah, her name is Hacienda.
Well, what about Paseo?
He's a silent partner.
Oh, I see. Well, tell me, Mr. Kitzel, is your wife is here with you?
Yes, and we having fun. We go swimming, we play tennis, and you know, this morning my wife rented a bicycle built for two.
Oh, and you both went for a ride, huh?
No, just her.
Then why did she get a bicycle built for two?
Believe me, she can use it.
Mr. Kitzel, you mean your wife is on the heavy side?
If it was only on the side, I wouldn't mind.
Oh, well, what's the difference? As long as you're in love with her, Mr. Kitzel, that's all that matters.
That's what I keep telling myself. Well, goodbye, Mr. Benny.
So long, Mr. Kitzel. Thanks for dropping in. I'll get it. Hello?
I have a long-distance call for Jack Benny.
This is Jack Benny.
It's collect. Hello? Hello?
I'm here. A collect call, huh? Operator, find out who's calling.
Just a moment. Mr. Benny will not accept the charges till he knows who's calling.
Tell him it's Lana Turner.
Rochester. Rochester, I thought you'd be down here by now. Where are you calling from?
From Pomona.
Pomona? What'd you stop there for?
I got a flat tire.
Oh, that's too bad.
No, that's good. It was laying in the road, and it's better than the one we had on.
Oh.
If I find 3 more, I'll be there by morning.
Well, you better be here by morning. I'm going to play golf, and I want you to caddy for me.
Oh, boss, I hate to caddy for you at Palm Springs.
Stop complaining. Tamarisk is a very level course. There's nothing tough about it.
Nothing for you, but how about me? I have to carry a golf bag, 12 clubs, a basket of sandwiches, a gallon of lemonade, a first aid kit, a parasol.
So what?
You don't need a caddy, you need a burro.
Oh, Rochester, you don't carry so much.
I don't. Remember what happened last time I went out loaded down like that?
What happened?
An old prospector tied a rope around my neck and led me off into the mountains.
Why'd you go with him?
I couldn't see where I was until he unloaded me.
Well, stop making things up. Anyway, I'm going to play golf in the morning, and I want you to caddy.
Okay, I'll do it, but do me a favor this time, will you?
What is it?
If we lose a ball, let's forget it. Those bloodhounds are hard to handle.
Okay. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, in honor of the opening of Palm Springs' newest golf course, Tamarisk, we are going to
Jack, before we go any further, I must tell you something, and I know you're going to be surprised.
Surprised? What is it, Don?
There's a friend of yours who also belongs to Tamarisk, and he'd like to come on and say a few words.
A friend of mine? Is it Mr. Anderson, the president of Tamarisk?
No.
Well, is it Ben Hogan, the pro at Tamarisk?
No.
Well, who is it?
Danny Kaye. Come on in, Danny.
Danny Kaye.
Well, hello, Danny. Hello, Jigbani.
But, Danny, this is such a surprise coming right out on my program. It's...
Oh, stop stuttering. I'm not going to charge you for it.
Oh.
Now, Jack, the reason I'm here is, well, because every time you come to Palm Springs, you always do an informal show. Isn't that right?
That's right.
Well, some of the boys at the club cooked up an idea that I'm sure you're going to like.
What is it?
Well, we decided to form a quartet and sing the song you wrote.
My song?
Mm-hmm.
When you say I beg your pardon, then I'll come back to you.
Suddenly I'm sick. What? Oh, anyway, Jack, the other three fellas are out outside. Can I call them in?
Three fellas, who are they?
Yeah, well, Frank Sinatra, George Burns, and Groucho Marx. Come on out, fellas.
Well, George, Frankie, and Groucho. Hello, fellas.
Hello.
Hello, that's brilliant dialogue.
Well, welcome to the show, fellas, and if you say the magic word, you get a bottle of suntan oil.
Say, Jack, that reminds me. Jack?
What?
That reminds me.
Huh?
That bottle of suntan oil you sold me was much too greasy, and boy, was I embarrassed.
Why? What happened?
Well, yesterday when I put some on, I slipped right out of my suit.
No kidding.
Look, fellas, I came here to sing, so let's do it and get it over with, okay?
Okay.
When I say I beg your pardon.
Hold it.
When I say...
Groucho, that's me.
I may sing lousy, but I'm grammatically correct.
I'm sorry.
I'm Groucho.
Now, look, fellas.
Fellas, come on now. Let's sing Jack's song.
And, fellas, I want to tell you how much I appreciate your coming over to do it. No one but real friends, real pals would give up a Sunday afternoon just to come over here and do this wonderful
Jack.
song. What?
Shut up.
Oh.
All right, fellas, let's take it.
Now, what key we're going to sing it in, Danny?
It'll help if we all take different ones.
Look, boy. All right, fellas, let's go. Can we have a nice introduction, please?
When I say I beg your pardon, then I'll come back to you.
When you ask me to forgive you, I'll return.
Like the swallows at Serrano, return to Capistrano. For you, my heart will always yearn. Will always
When you say that you are sorry, then I will understand. If the harvest moon will pledge our love, now, honey child, don't be listening to anybody else. Yes, we're falling, going back to whence we started, and sweetheart, I'll come back to you. When I say I beg your pardon, then I'll come back to you.
So, my darling, though we've parted, come back to whence we've started.
And sweetheart, I'll come back too. Sweetheart, I'll come back too. Sweetheart, I'll come back
Jack will be back in just a moment, but first...
He had a little old farm on which he kept a little old jug way down at the bottom of the well. Pappy had a whittling stick, his little old dog, and his little old cane, and he'd go for a slug from the jug at the bottom of the well. Pappy wasn't country born, no, he wasn't no greenhorn, but he couldn't thrive on big town jive, 'cause he always took to corn. When Pappy had some cares to drown, he'd lift his jug and they'd go down, down to the bottom, to the bottom, to the bottom of the well. Wasn't sound of limb. He had his jug and his jug had him, and he kept it cool on the pool at the bottom of the well. Pappy was as poor as job, but he gathered his nectar off the cob, and he kept it snug in the jug at the bottom of the well. Pappy was no jitterbug, no, he couldn't cut a rug, but he got more jazz than Dorsey has from his little old cornet jug. That little old jug kept Pappy happy, and when he died, they buried Pappy down at the bottom, at the bottom, at the bottom of the well. Pappy died without a sou. We don't mind that. What did he do with that little old jug that he kept on the bottom, the bottom, the bottom, the cool, cool bottom, kept on the bottom of the well? Good night, folks.
Speaking. This is the United States Armed Forces Radio Service. With Barry Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to take you out to Jack's house. He is just finishing dressing. There, I'm almost through. Get me my shirt, Rochester.
Yes, sir. Do you want that solid gold cufflink you got from Mr. Ronald Coleman last Christmas?
Wait a minute, Rochester. Mr. Coleman only gave me one cufflink?
He didn't give it to you. He swung at you and it fell out of his shirt.
Oh, yes. If Benita hadn't grabbed them, I'd have had them both. Rochester, get my other cufflinks out of the bureau.
Yes, sir. What drawer do you keep them in, boss?
Well, you ought to know. You put them away most of the time.
Yeah, but you keep putting all kinds of junk in your dresser. Well, let's try this top drawer. Nope. There's just socks in here, a couple of handkerchiefs, and what's this?
Let me see that. Oh, for heaven's sake. I forgot to return it when I left New York. It's the key to my room at the Acme Plaza. I don't know why they gave me a key. My room didn't have a door on it. No wonder they call it New York's friendliest hotel. Now, see if you can find those cufflinks.
Okay, I'll try this drawer here. No, nothing but shirts here. Nothing in this drawer but underwear.
Hey, maybe I threw those cufflinks in with my underwear.
I'll flip the flap and see.
Well, hurry up and find them. Miss Livingston's waiting in the den for me. She's going to drive me to the studio for my TV show.
Oh, they weren't in there. I'll try the bottom drawer.
Oh, Mary, will you answer the phone, please?
Yes, Jack. Hello?
Hell, I was expecting a shrimp boat and I got the dream boat.
Is that you, Phil?
This ain't no phone call from a stranger. Hey, by the way, Livy, Alice and me had a couple of people over at the house Friday night and we called you, but you were out.
I know. Jack took me to the movies.
Jackson took you to the movies?
Uh-huh.
Passes Dutch, or do we have an item for Ripley?
No, Phil. He really took me. Do you want to talk to Jack?
Yeah.
Well, here he comes now.
Who is it, Mary?
Remley Straight Man.
Oh, I'll talk to him. Hello, Phil.
Hiya, Jackson. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm all right, Phil. I guess I'm a little nervous about my television show tonight.
Well, why don't you do what I do to calm down?
What's that?
I have two of my musicians go around with me, and every time I feel a little nervous, one of them gives me a drink of bourbon.
Oh. What's the other guy for?
He's there to make me nervous.
Oh, stop. Well, what'd you call for?
Hey, look, Jackson, I've been thinking of making some changes in my band.
Well, good.
Hey, you know, it's good. You don't even know what I want to do.
Phil, any change you make in your orchestra, even if it's only their socks and shirts, will be an improvement. You want to know something, Phil? Your musicians could play 5 numbers and still stump the experts on What's My Line. Now what is it you want to do with your band?
Well, for the past few years, Bagby, my piano player, has been on the left side of my orchestra, and I've been thinking of moving him over to the right side.
Why?
Because that's where the piano is.
Well, try it, Phil. It may not sound good, but it'll look better. Anything else, Phil?
No, so long, Jackson.
Goodbye. You know, Mary, I can't understand it. I took you to the movies. Everybody's making a big thing out of it.
I can't understand it either. We were walking down the street, you found a $5 bill, and you certainly can do what you want with it.
Of course. Everybody has...
Excuse me, Mr. Billy.
What is it, Rochester?
Mr. Wilson's at the back door, and he wants to see you.
Don Wilson at the back door? Excuse me a minute, Mary. What can he want at the back door? It's funny, of all places, Don. Come in. Don!
Oh, hello, Jack.
For heaven's sake, why... Why did you come to the back door?
Well, Jack, all the way over here, I've even walked through the alleys. I don't want people to see me.
But why? Because today we do another television show, and I just can't help feeling ashamed and upset about the mistake I made on your last one.
But, Don, that was 6 weeks ago.
I know, but how could I ever have said be lucky, go happy instead of be happy, go lucky? It was so humiliating.
Look, Don.
I felt so ashamed I went home and sobbed for hours.
I know, Don, but...
I just couldn't stop the tears. What an embarrassing thing to happen to a man of my dignity.
Look, Don, little fat crowd that cried.
I bet I got one of the biggest laughs tonight. Now stop worrying about it. Don, I'm sure you won't make that mistake again.
Jack, what did Don want?
Well, he's still worried about the mistake.
Oh, hello, Mr. Benny.
Dennis, I didn't know you were here.
I just came over to wish you luck on your TV show.
Oh, thanks, kid.
Are you going to have any guest stars?
Yes, I'm going to have Burns and Allen.
Say, that ought to be funny. He's my favorite comedian.
George Burns?
Oh, Fred Allen.
Look, Dennis, I'm talking about Gracie Allen, not Fred. Gracie Allen. That's George Burns' wife.
Oh. Say, Mr. Benny, I just thought of something.
What?
I wish you'd get married.
You do? Why?
I'd like to hit you with an old shoe.
Dennis, leave me alone. Will you leave me alone?
Jack, don't upset yourself. Why don't you ignore him?
Yeah, ignore me.
Dennis, let me ask you something. What's come over you lately?
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, for a couple of years up to last June, you were acting pretty fresh. Since then, you've been very nice and polite. Just lately, you started in acting smart aleck.
What happened? I've got 2 shows again.
I know, but you still got a job to do on my show. Let me hear the song you're going to sing, will you?
Okay. Clancy was a peaceful man, if you know what I mean. The cops picked up the pieces after Clancy left the scene. He never looked for trouble, that's a fact you can assume. But nevertheless, when trouble would press, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. Boom, 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 boom. O'Leary was a fighting man, they all knew he was tough. He strutted round the neighborhood, just shooting off his gun. He picked a fight with Clancy, then and there he sealed his doom. Before you could shout, "O'Leary, look out!" Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. Boom, 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 boom. Now Clancy left the barber shop with tonic on his hair. He walked into the pool room and he met O'Reilly there. O'Reilly said, "For goodness sakes, now do I smell perfume?" Before you could stack your shoe in the rack, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. Boom, 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 boom. The neighbors all turned out for Kate O'Grady's wedding night. McDougal said, "Let's have some fun. I think I'll start a fight." He wrecked the hall, then kissed the bride and pulverized the groom. Then quick as a wink, before you could think, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. Oh, that Clancy! Oh, that Clancy! Whenever they got his Irish up, Clancy lowered the boom. Boom, 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 boom. Sure, it was the greatest night you ever did see when Clancy lowered the boom there.
Dennis, that song is still wonderful, and there's nothing I would like more than to hear you sing another one, but I'm afraid I'll have to say goodbye.
Why, are you leaving?
No, you are. Goodbye.
Jack, you didn't have to push him.
Mary, sometimes that kid drives me nuts.
But look, Jack, don't pay any attention to him.
Look, how can I help it? Last Monday, I was awakened out of a sound sleep by the telephone.
When I answered it was Dennis. He wanted to know what time it was. I said, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. He said, well, this is no time to call anybody, and hung up. You tell me not to pay any attention to him.
Well, Jack, forget about it. You always get yourself all worked up.
I know, but I got a TV show to do tonight. He has to come in and make me nervous.
Look, Jack, he's gone now, so why don't you go to your room and take a nap? I'll wake you up when you have to go to the studio.
Okay, Mary. What'll you do?
Oh, I'll stay here in the library and read a book.
Okay. But don't let me sleep too long, will you?
Oh, I won't. Go ahead, Jack. Gee, Jack is certainly on edge today. Well, maybe the nap will do him good. Let's see, what book can I read? Oh, gosh, Jack has a lot of them. Let's see. Oh, here's one. How to Make Money Raising Soybeans. Oh, here's another one. How to Make Money Selling Homemade Blintzes. Here's another one. How to Make Money Trapping Lizards. What's this? How to spend money and enjoy it. I'll bet that little gem never saw the light of day. Oh, here's one I've never seen before. My Career as a Hospital Nurse. I think I'll read this. My Career as a Hospital Nurse, Chapter 1. I am one of the legion of women who have been called Angels of Mercy. I am a nurse. My name is Aura Myson. I worked at the admittance desk of the city hospital. And, like all nurses, I had a boyfriend. A young intern named Dr. Harris. My story begins about a year ago. It was a quiet day in the hospital.
Dr. Jones wanted in maternity. Dr. Jones wanted in maternity.
Hello, Aura.
Hello, Dr. Harris.
Would you do me a favor? Please send my stethoscope out and have it fixed.
Well, certainly. What's wrong with it?
I don't know. I keep hearing Guy Lombardo.
I'll take care of it for you, Doctor.
Thank you. And by the way, Aura, would you mind if we postponed our date for the movies until tomorrow?
No, not at all. But why?
Well, I'm terribly tired. I was up all night in the emergency ward treating a bunch of drunks.
Really?
Yes. Oh, why must people drink like that?
It is a shame.
Dr. Jones wanted in maternity. Dr. Jones, report to maternity immediately.
By the way, Dr. Harris, how's your patient in room 312?
He died.
Oh. Well, how about your patient in 419?
He died.
And what about the case you had in Ward 5?
Yep. Well, you'll have to excuse me now, Aura. I'm late.
For what?
I'm taking a course in embalming.
Dr. Jones, hurry to maternity. Dr. Jones, please hurry. Dr. Jones, please. Dr. Jones, you're a slowpoke.
Left, and even though he hadn't told me, I knew the real reason he hadn't taken me to the movies. He was spending his evenings doing research with a left-handed guitar player. Later that afternoon, I was still at the admittance desk when something happened that was to change the course of my whole life. He walked in.
Excuse me, nurse.
Yes, sir?
My family doctor sent me here for a consultation with your famous specialist, Dr. Heinrich von Schmiercase.
Very well, sir. I'll have to fill out this admittance card. Your name?
My name is James.
What's your last name?
James. My name is James James.
Where were you born?
Pango Pango.
Where do you live now?
Walla Walla.
What disease do you have?
Berry.
And what is your occupation?
I'm an announcer on Double or Nothing.
I see. Now, how tall are you?
5'11".
Your weight?
158.
Color of eyes? Oh, they're blue, aren't they?
Bluer than the thumb of an Eskimo hitchhiker.
Now, have you been to any other specialists?
I've been to hundreds of them, but they never help me. I feel terrible.
Well, what are your symptoms?
I hear music, and there's no one there. I smell blossoms, and the trees are bare. And don't tell me I'm in love. I'm sick as a dog.
Oh. Now, just a moment while I fill this out.
Dr. Smith is wanted in the operating room. Dr. Mason is wanted in the consultation room. Dr. Ross is wanted in the kennel. Fido knows best what.
Very well, Mr. James. You may see Dr. von Schmiercase now, right through that door.
Thank you.
And you consider yourself fortunate. Dr. von Schmiercase is the world's greatest specialist in diagnosticians.
I know. I'll go in and see him. Gee, what a big office. Oh, that must be Dr. von Schmiercase over there in the corner. Must be getting to operate. He's putting on rubber gloves. Excuse me. I'm Mr. James, and I have berry. Please tell me. Please. What should I do? I don't know. Will you have to operate? I don't know. Will I live? I don't know. You don't know anything. What kind of a doctor are you? I ain't no doctor. Then why are you wearing those rubber gloves? I don't want to leave fingerprints. I'm robbing the joint. Oh. Well, I'm sorry. Where can I hear a case? I don't know. Oh, never mind. I'll go find him myself. Here's his office. Dr. Heinrich von Schmiercase. Excuse me, Dr. von Schmiercase. I'm Mr. James.
Ach du Liebe, wie geht's, Landsmann? Was ist los?
Well, doctor,
Don't worry. First, please, the examination. Stick out, please, the tongue.
There.
Now, close, please, the eye.
There.
Good. Now, lift, please, the left foot off the floor and hold it up.
Okay.
Fine. Now, lift the right foot off the floor, too.
Okay. Ooh.
Ach, just as I taught dizzy spells.
But, doctor...
I'm afraid we will have to operate.
Operate? What are you going to take out?
Oh, don't worry. We'll think of something. We will operate early tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
Why so early?
Incision before dawn. Dr. von Schmiercase, you may not be a sharpest, but you sure get corny. Now, don't worry, Mr. James.
You rang for me, Doctor?
Oh, yes. Have Dr. Harris prepare this man for surgery, and I will want you to assist me in the operation.
Oh, thank you, Doctor.
As I prepared the patient for surgery, I noticed that he had his will tattooed on his chest. I was amazed when I read it. He left everything to himself. We were practically ready for the operation when the patient began to get restless.
Nurse, where's Dr. von Schmiercase?
He'll be here in just a minute. Dr. Harris and I'll get you ready for him.
Oh, nurse, hand me the anesthetic.
Anesthetic.
Cotton.
Sponge.
Alcohol. Chaser.
What's going on here?
Quiet. Here comes Dr. von Schmiercase.
Hi-ho,
Hi-ho, hi-ho, it's off to work I go. Well, how's my little patient?
I'm nervous, Doctor.
Oh, don't worry. Now I'll start. First, nurse, hand me please the iodine. I'll have to paint his stomach.
What are you painting on my stomach?
A smile. This operation is being televised.
That's very funny.
If you knew what a lousy doctor I was, you wouldn't be laughing. Now we will the operation commence. Nurse, hold the ether to his nose.
Well, I'm sorry, we have no ether.
Well, tighten his necktie.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's enough. He's starting to look like Eddie Cantor. Now I will operate. Now, all you interns, watch carefully so you will learn something. And please, no applause till the nurse holds up the card. Well, now I take the scalpel and make the first incision. There. Now, before I make the second incision, I would like to say a few words on behalf of my sponsor. My sponsor is the author and publisher of a book called How to Avoid Paying Income Tax. The price of this book is $200. For this money, we not only include a copy of the book, but we also send you fruit every visiting day. Now, back to the operation. I will make the second incision. There we are.
For heaven's sake, Doctor, I've never seen such a tremendous incision.
Yeah, and it's got me worried.
Why?
Where will we ever find a Band-Aid that long? Oh, well, I'll worry about that later.
Dr. Smith, come to the office and bring your bag. Dr. McDermott, come to the office and bring your bag. Dr. Wagner, come to the office and bring your bag. Train leaving on track 5 for Azusa and Goop.
Even though all the doctors had gone to the Grape Festival, the operation was a success, and I sat by the patient till he recovered consciousness. When he did, he turned to me tenderly and said,
For heaven's sake, Mary, you let me sleep so long I'll be late for my television show.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. I got so absorbed in this book.
Well, what am I going to do? Here we are in Beverly Hills. My TV program goes on in just 2 minutes.
Well, don't worry, Jack. Come on, we'll make it. Let's go. Well, here we are at CBS.
It's amazing what you can do with sound effects, isn't it? Come on, Mary, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, in about 1 minute from now, I will be doing my 4th television show of this season. I'm happy to say that on tonight's TV program, I'm having as my guests George Burns and Gracie Allen. In the profession, this is what we call a reciprocal agreement. You see, they come on my program this week, and all next month I do their laundry. But I'll be seeing you. Good night, folks.
Speaking. This is the United States Armed Forces Radio Service.
The Jack Benny Program.
Starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris Rochester, and yours truly, Don Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, since Jack has been in television, he wants to keep his weight down. At the moment, he's at his home in Beverly Hills in a steam cabinet trying to reduce.
Rochester, I can stand it a little hotter. Turn up the steam, will you?
Yes, sir.
That's enough. Not too hot. Gee, I'm glad I bought this steam cabinet. How long have I been in here?
About 10 minutes. I hope you're not taking too much.
Well, what do the instructions say?
Let's see. I'll read them. Men up to 20 years old stay in cabinet not more than a half hour.
A half hour?
Men up to 25 years, no more than 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Men up to 30 years of age, no more than 15 minutes.
15.
Men up to...
What are you mm-mm about?
According to this chart, I should have just dipped you in like a tea bag.
Oh, stop. Gee, it's awfully hot in this cabinet. I think I'll get out.
I better not open it for a couple of minutes.
Why, haven't I had enough?
Yeah, but the potatoes aren't done yet.
Oh, darn it.
Don't blame me, boss. It was your own idea. As long as we had the heat, you didn't want to waste it.
Well...
What a time I had talking you out of holding that leg of lamb on your lap.
I was just trying to economize, that's all. Anyway, it's too hot. Open it up, will you? I'm getting out.
Yes, sir.
Phew. Gee, it's good to get out of here.
Uh-oh, I'm afraid the heat was on a little too high.
Why, am I red?
Boss, if you had a pitchfork in your hand, you'd scare me to death.
Well, I feel fine. Hand me my robe, Rochester.
Yes, sir.
I'll get it. Hello?
Hello, Jack.
Oh, hello, Mary.
Jack, the reason I called is that Wednesday I'm giving a little party at my house, and I want to know if you can come.
Well, certainly, Mary. Thanks. Who else are you having?
Well, I'm going to ask the whole cast of our show. Your producer, your writers, and also your...
My writers?
Yes, I thought you might like to have them there.
Why?
You want to be the life of the party, don't you?
Oh, yes. They are funny looking.
Well, I better hang up. I've got a lot of people to call. Bye, Jack.
So long, Mary, and thanks. Rochester, next Wednesday night, Miss Livingston is giving a party, so I won't... Rochester!
Here I am, boss.
Where were you?
I heard the postman, so I went to get the mail.
Oh. What came?
Just some bills, circular, and your copy of Look magazine.
Oh, let me see it. Hey, Rochester, there's a picture of you and me on the cover.
On the cover of Look? Let me see it, boss. Yeah!
What are you laughing at?
I'll bet I'm the only man in the world who ever had his picture on the cover of a magazine and couldn't afford to buy it.
Oh, you do all right.
I don't know. I just bought a toothbrush on installment plan.
Installment? What would that mean? Well, that's not my fault. If you saved your... Rochester, see who that is while I finish getting dressed.
Yes, sir.
Sure and beguard, 'tis a pleasure to greet such a fine broth of a lad on this day, the likes of which I haven't seen in years. How do you do? How do you do?
Who is it, Rochester?
It ain't Mr. Kitzel.
Well, who is it?
Sure, and 'tis the son of the old sod himself, Dennis Patrick Aloysius Jeremiah McNulty O'Day.
Oh, come on in, Dennis. And look, kid, tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. Aren't you a little early with your brogue?
No, I'm practicing. I'll have to talk like this all day tomorrow.
You have to talk like that all day?
Yeah, if you don't, they rip off your shamrock, take a shillelagh, and break all your Morton Downey records.
Oh, well, you know, Dennis, I've always thought that St. Patrick's Day comes at the wrong time of the year.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Well, how can March 17th be dedicated to the wearing of the green when only 2 days before the government takes it all away from you? Now, Dennis, let's stop talking. Just let me hear the song you're going to do on the program.
Yes, sir.
Hold it, kid. Hello?
Hello, Jack. This is Mary again.
Oh, what is it, Mary?
Well, I called Dennis's house to invite him to my party, and his mother told me he's at your house. Is he there?
Yes. Dennis, Mary wants you on the phone.
Yeah, these dames, they won't let me alone.
Never mind. Just talk to her.
Yes, sir. Hello, Mary.
Hello, Dennis. Look, I'm having a party on Wednesday night. Would you like to come?
On Wednesday?
Yes.
Do you mind if I bring my neighbor, Hetty Lamar?
Your neighbor, Hetty Lamar?
Yeah.
Dennis, I happen to know Hetty Lamar lives in Benedict Canyon, and you live in Westwood.
Oh, yeah, Hetty Lamar's house is right next to mine.
Since when?
Ever since the rain.
All right, Dennis. Bring anyone who floats by.
Gee, thanks, Mary. Goodbye.
Bye.
Well, say, Mr. Benny, when I go to Mary's party, I'm going to... Hello?
Dennis, I forgot to tell you something.
What?
Don't drive Jack nuts. Just sing your song.
Okay.
Dennis?
Quiet, I'm going to sing.
Oh, well, go right ahead.
Does it still run down to Johnny Cove, through Killybegs, Kilferry and Kildare? How are things in Glockamora? Is that willow tree still weeping there? Does that lassie with a twinkling eye come smiling by? And does she walk away sad and dreamy there, not to see me there? So I asked each weeping willow and each brook along the way, and each lass that comes a-sighing to Raleigh. How are things in
You certainly picked an appropriate song for St. Patrick's Day. And I might add, Dennis, that as time goes on, your voice gets better and better.
Well, if it's so good, how about a raise?
You know, Dennis, on second thought, instead of singing Glockamora on the program, why don't you sing the song I wrote? When you say, I beg your pardon, then I'll come back to you. I couldn't remember the melody of my own song. My song may not sell any copies, but it sure gets rid of pests. Oh, Rochester, Rochester.
Yes, boss?
I'm awfully hungry. What does my diet say I can have for lunch?
A piece of rye crisp and a hard-boiled egg.
That's all I'm supposed to eat for lunch?
No, you just feel it for lunch. You eat it for dinner.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. That's the strictest diet I have. Come in. Oh, hello, Phil.
Hello, Jackson.
What's the matter, Phil? You sound depressed.
Yeah, I am. I just came back from the doctor.
The doctor? What's wrong?
Well, a couple of weeks ago, I became allergic to something, and I broke out in a rash on my back. And itches something awful.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, so I went to the doctor, and every day he's been testing me to find out what I'm allergic to, and today found out.
Well, what are you allergic to?
Alcohol.
No.
Yeah, the only way I can get rid of this itch is to stop drinking entirely.
Oh. Well, what are you going to do?
Grow long fingernails. I'm in for a lot of scratches.
That's what I thought.
Hey, by the way, Jackson, I've been meaning to tell you, I saw you on TV last week. Man, you look wonderful.
Well, thanks, Phil, but I don't deserve all the credit. I had the best makeup man in the country.
Oh, really?
Yes, he's the same one who made up President Truman for his last television speech.
Yeah, hold it a minute. Why would President Truman want to use makeup?
Phil, if you were asking for $8 billion, you'd want to look good, too. Believe me.
Alice would give it to me regardless of how I look.
Well, she can probably... Hello?
Oh, it's me again, Jack.
Oh, what is it now, Mary?
Well, I called Phil's house and nobody answered, and I was wondering if he's over there.
Yes, he is. Just a second. Phil, it's for you. It's Mary.
Oh. Hello, Livy, you doll, you.
Hello, Hambone. Look, Phil, I'm having a party on Wednesday, and I'd like you and Alice to come.
Yeah, okay, Liv, we'll be there. Hey, say, you want me to bring my orchestra boys along, too?
No, Phil, I haven't got room for 36 more people.
What do you mean 36? I only got 18 fellas in my band.
Yeah, what about their parole officers?
Yeah, I almost forgot about them cats. Look, Mary, Mary, can I at least bring Remley?
No.
Sammy, my drummer?
No.
Now, wait a minute. I've got to bring at least one of my boys.
Why?
Somebody's got to scratch my back.
Phil, I don't know what you're talking about, but if your back itches, can't you scratch it yourself?
No, I'll be using both hands to pour the stuff that makes it itch.
Phil, I don't understand. Anyway, will you come to my party?
Natch, I'll be there, Liv. Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Mary invited you to party, too, eh, Phil?
Yeah.
Your lunch is ready, Mr. Benny.
Oh, thanks, Rochester.
Hey, Jackson, I'm kind of hungry. I think I'll stay and have some lunch with you.
Oh. Oh, you want to eat here, huh? When you say, I beg your pardon. It works every time. I got the song right that time. When you say, I beg your pardon. Gee, I mustn't forget my own melody. Gosh, I'm hungry. These diets are murder. I'm going to eat something. Oh, Rochester, come here a minute, will you?
Yes, boss.
Look, Rochester, I'm really hungry. What's in the refrigerator?
Dennis Dave.
What?
When he left, he opened the wrong door.
Oh, well, leave him there for a while. I don't want to hear his explanation of how it happened. Anyway, Rochester, just make me a sandwich out of,
Boss, why are you staring out the window?
What?
Why are you staring out the window?
Those two men. Those two men across the street. They just stepped off the curb, and they're coming this way. Yes?
We're from the income tax department.
Oh, yes. Yeah, you're the same men who were here last year. Come in. Your name is Mr. Kearns, isn't it?
Yes, and this is my assistant, Mr. Wright.
Right?
How do you do?
Gentlemen, if you've come about my income tax, I've already sent it in.
Well, Mr. Benny, we're not here to discuss this year's taxes. We'd like to talk to you again about last year's.
Last year's? I thought that was settled. We went over it so many times. Then when I didn't hear from you again, I assumed that nothing was wrong. I thought that everything was right.
How do you do?
Mr. Benny, we're still trying to help you.
Help me?
And we feel that you must have made a mistake in your last year's return.
A mistake?
Yes. We can't understand how a man who earned over $300,000 could only spend $17 for entertainment.
Well, that's all I spent. I can prove it to you. Rochester, get my books out of my desk drawer, will you?
Yes, sir.
Well, there's no need
I'm
for
going
it.
to prove it to you for once and for all.
But, Mr. Benny...
This drawer here on the left?
No, the right.
How do you do?
Now cut that out! For heaven's sake!
Mr. Benny, no one shouts at a tax collector.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Mr. Benny, believe me, we're here to help you.
I know.
Yes, we don't think you're taking full advantage of deductible items.
I'm not?
Here are your books, boss.
Thanks.
Now, take your butler, for instance.
You mean Rochester?
Yes. Even though he's your butler, if he assists you in any way pertaining to the production of your radio or television shows or any of your other business activities, then that portion of his pay is deductible.
You mean...
Yes. In other words, under those conditions, you could split his salary.
Split my salary?
Yes.
Gentlemen, they've split infinitism, they've split the atom. But I defy anybody to split my salary.
Rochester, this is no time...
Just a moment, Mr. Benny. Rochester, are you inferring that your salary is that small?
Well, in Santa Anita colloquialism, it starts off pretty good, but something always happens to it coming around the far turn.
What do you mean?
Well, every payday, Mr. Benny sits me down and explains how he has to make certain deductions out of my salary. So much for withholding, so much for unemployment insurance, and so much for Social Security. Then he further explains that what remains is known as take-home pay.
That's right, take-home pay.
Then he points out that I'm living at his home, so he takes it.
Mr. Benny, is that right?
How do you do?
I can play that game, too, brother.
Mr. Benny, I just looked in the book that Rochester brought you, and there's an item that interests me.
Which item is that?
This one here. Income from violin engagement, approximately $3.
Yes, I filled in that entry myself.
But why is it approximately $3?
Well, I was playing my violin at the opening of a butcher shop, and they gave me 2 pounds of meat.
They gave you 2 pounds of meat for playing your violin?
They didn't give it to him. Somebody hit him with a round steak.
Well, I brought it home. What's the difference?
That brings up a point, Mr. Benny. If you receive revenue playing your violin, then the money you spend on its upkeep and repair is deductible.
It is?
Yes. You see, Mr. Benny, we're trying to help you.
I know.
For instance, Mr. Benny, how many strings do you buy for your violin? Rosin, pegs, bridges, repairing your bow, and so forth.
Well, I don't know. You see, I get everything through my violin teacher. He keeps track of all that.
Well, in that case, in order to help you, would you mind if we talk to your violin teacher?
No, not at all. His name is Professor LeBlanc. His address is 6212 Iman Avenue. It's on the other side of town.
We'll find it. Come on, Joe.
Well, Bill, there it is. 6212 Iman Avenue.
Yeah, what a run-down-looking rooming house. Let's go in.
Oh, here's his room. Professor LeBlanc, violin teacher.
Yeah.
Professor LeBlanc?
We? We're from the Income Tax Department.
Income tax? Income tax! Gentlemen, look at me. See for yourself. I am barefoot. My clothes are torn.
Professor!
I sleep on a hard spring. I ate the mattress. Income tax!
Professor! Control yourself. Yes, we're here to talk to you about one of your pupils, Mr. Benny.
About Mr. Benny? Come in, come in. Perhaps I can help you send him to the Bastille.
No, Professor. We just want to find out how much money Mr. Benny spent on his violin.
Money?
Yes. Don't you have any books?
Oh, oui. I have written 3 books about Mr. Benny, but the publishers would not believe them.
No, we mean records, financial records. We want to know what expenses Mr. Benny's incurred in the upkeep of his violin.
Oh, that I do not know. I just charge him so much for the lesson, and that includes everything.
Oh, well, perhaps we could break that down. How much do you charge him for the lesson?
Well, he is supposed to give me $2. But before every lesson, Mr. Benny sits me down and explains how he has to make certain deductions out of my salary. So much for withholding, so much for unemployment insurance, and so much for Social Security. Then he further explains that what remains is known as take-home...
Come on, Bill. We've heard this before.
Yes. Thank you, Professor LeBlanc.
You're welcome, gentlemen.
Oh, by the way, Professor, we've never heard Mr. Benny play the violin. How does he sound?
Sound? Well, gentlemen, let me explain. The strings on a violin are made of catgut, and the violin bow is made from horse hair.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to know how Mr. Benny violin playing sounds, think of a cat being stepped on by a horse.
Yes, we understand. Well, goodbye, Professor LeBlanc.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
Say, Bill.
Yes, Joe?
Why are we going to all this trouble just to help Mr. Benny?
I don't know. There's something about those big blue eyes that gets you.
Yeah, I guess so.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's go out to Jack Benny's house in Beverly Hills. At the moment, our little star is shaving.
See, my beard feels kind of tough this morning. I wish this was April 1st so I'd put in a new blade. I wonder how I would look with sideburns. Charles Boyer has sideburns. I can just see myself taking a beautiful girl in my arms and saying, like Boyer, my darling, come with me to the cash drawer. I mean, maybe I ought to just shave and forget it. Hey, that must be Mary. I don't know why I want sideburns anyway. That fella on television who calls himself the Continental, he doesn't have them. Boy, is he romantic. That's the type I am. The Continental. Do not be afraid, darling. It is only a man's apartment.
Jackson, open up your baby blues.
Oh, it's you, Phil. Oh, say, Phil, who am I imitating?
Well, do it again.
Do not be afraid, darling. It is only a man's apartment.
Barry Leone.
All right. Look, Phil, I'm in the midst of shaving, so if you want to talk to me, come in the bathroom.
Okay, where's Rochester?
He went to the market. Hey, Phil, what are you doing here so early, anyway?
Alice threw me out of the house.
Again?
It was my fault this time, Jackson. You see,
Just a minute, Phil. Wait a minute. Where's my razor? Oh, here it is. Phil, why did Alice throw you out of the house?
Oh, I don't know. They were having a parent-teachers meeting. You know, all the mothers and teachers were there, and they were deciding to make some sort of an outing for the kids in the 3rd grade. They call it a nature study.
Oh, yes, that's one of those hikes up in the hills.
Well, they should have told me.
Why?
When they said they wanted to study nature, I suggested the Burbank Theater.
A burlesque show? Well, I don't blame her for throwing you out of the house.
Yeah, I don't know why
Phil, I wish you wouldn't stand behind me while I'm shaving.
Why?
Every time I see the reflection of your eyes in the mirror, I think I cut myself.
Okay, I'll move.
Oh, there's somebody at the door.
Oh, I'll get it, Jackson.
Oh, hello, Phil.
Do not be afraid, darling. It's only a man's apartment.
What is that?
I don't know. That's the way they answer the door around here. Hey, come on in, Libby. Jackson will be through in a minute. He's shaving. Hey, look at you. That's a cute little dress you're wearing.
Oh, I'm glad you like it, Phil. I knitted it myself.
It sure fits you beautiful. The way it shows off your figure. I mean, it clings so snug around the hips. And hey, wait a minute. You said you made that dress. How come there's a price tag on it?
I put that on myself. I wanted something for Jack to notice, too. Phil, what are you doing over here so early?
Well, they were having a parent-teachers meeting over at the house.
And Alice threw you out.
How'd you know?
I took a wild guess.
Well, I'm all through with my shaving. Oh, hello, Mary. Where did you get that $45 dress?
You see, Phil, I told you.
Told him what?
Nothing.
Hey, Jackson, that's a new suit you're wearing, ain't it?
Yep, and I got a bargain, too. You know, walk up one flight and save $10.
Where'd you buy that one? On top of Old Smoky?
Well, for a fellow who was thrown out of the house this morning, you're certainly... Hello?
Hello, is this Jack Benny?
Yes.
Well, Mr. Benny, my wife and I are having a big argument, and you can help us settle it.
Me?
Yeah, we bought a copy of Look magazine, and your picture's on the cover.
That's right.
How old are you?
39.
39?
Yes.
You win, Mabel. Them wrinkles must be in the paper.
What?
Bye.
Who was it, Jack?
I don't know. Since I had my picture on, look, I've gotten a lot of phone calls.
Yeah, and I know what you go through, Jackson. You're not the only one who's had his picture on the cover of a magazine.
Well, Phil, I've never seen your picture on a cover.
Neither have I.
Well, that's because you kids don't subscribe to the monthly manual of the Amalgamated Society of the City Planning and Construction Engineers.
Phil, your picture's on the cover of the monthly manual of the Amalgamated Society of City Planning and Construction Engineers?
Yeah, and I got a copy of it right here in my pocket. I'll show it to you. See?
Phil, that's a picture of the new freeway.
Yeah, but look who's laying against the curb.
Well, Phil, if that's you, this picture certainly has an appropriate caption. Landmarks of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Now, anybody can brag.
Here I am, boss, back from the market.
Oh, good.
Hello, Rochester.
Hello, Miss Livingston, Mr. Hannah.
Hi, Chester.
Say, boss, before I put all these canned goods in the pantry, do you want to check off the list?
Yes, Rochester. I'll check them off as you put them on the table.
Okay. 2 large cans of.
2 large cans of.
2 small cans of.
2 small cans of.
3 medium cans of.
3 medium cans of.
4 large cans of.
4 large cans of.
Wait a minute. What kind of checking off is that? 2 large cans of, 3 small cans of. Cans of what?
We don't know. When the labels are torn off, you get them cheaper.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Imagine buying canned goods without labels on them.
When we sit down to dinner, it's like a mystery program.
Who done it?
No, what's in it?
Rochester.
One night we had Drano for dessert.
Well, now I've heard everything. Imagine buying canned goods without labels on them. Isn't that silly, Phil?
I wouldn't know. I'm a bottle man myself. Rochester, just put the things away.
Okay, boss. And I bought you a new pair of woolen mittens like you asked for.
Woolen mittens? What's that for, Jackson? Well, as soon as I get a chance, I'm going up to Big Bear to do some more skiing. You know, Mary went up with me a few weeks ago.
Well, Jackson, I didn't know you could ski.
Are you kidding? I've been skiing for years. Of course, I haven't got perfect form, you know. In fact, the last time I came down the slide, took off, and sailed through the air, I did flap my arms a little too much.
A little too much? A duck hunter took a shot at you.
Duck hunter.
You'd still be out there if a retriever hadn't brought you back.
Oh, don't be so smart. If we go up in the snow again next week, I'll show you how good the... Come in. Well, Don, Dennis, come on in.
Go ahead, Dennis. You go first.
Oh, no, Don. You go first.
Oh, you go first, Dennis.
No, Don. I'd rather you go first.
Look, fellas.
Dennis, please go first.
No, Don. I insist that you go first.
Oh, for heaven's sake, what's the matter with you guys? Why are you so polite to each other?
We both have 2 shows.
That's the silliest thing I ever heard. Now, come on in.
Boy, does that outfit bring out the curves, the way it clings around the hips.
Oh, you noticed it too, eh, Dennis?
Yeah, Mr. Benny's wearing a new suit.
Well, thank you very much. Now, Dennis, before you get too silly, let me hear the song you're going to do on the program.
Okay. Oh, by the way, Mr. Benny, where'd you get that suit? On top of Old Smoky?
Now, wait a minute. Bill Harris just said that.
Well, that's funny. At rehearsal, I had the joke. What happened?
I don't know how anything happened. Just sing your song.
Talk to her, please, Mr. Sun. Speak to her, Mr. Rainbow, and take her under your branches, Mr. Tree. Whisper to her, Mr. Wind. Sing to her, Mr. Robin. And Mrs. Moonlight, put in a word for me. Tell her how I feel. It shouldn't end this way. Since you are all her friend, she'll listen to whatever you have to say. Babble to her, Mr. Brooks. Kiss her
Very good, Dennis. Very good. Don't you think so, Don?
Oh, yes, Jack. And now I've got something I want you to hear.
In a minute, Don. Say, Dennis, your song was so good that if you promise not to annoy me, I got a nice surprise for you.
A surprise?
Yes. Next week, Mary and I may go skiing up in Big Bear, and if you're a good boy, we'll take you with us.
That's right, Dennis.
Gee, up in the snow?
Yeah. Have you ever been up to Big Bear, kid?
Oh, I haven't, but a few weeks ago, my mother went up there on a hunting trip.
Did she get anything?
No, but she took a shot at a blue-eyed duck.
Oh, she did, eh?
Yeah, and she couldn't understand it. Her retriever came back with a toupee.
Dennis, that duck your mother thought she was shooting at was me.
Oh.
Now, Don, what's on your mind?
Well, Jack, I have to leave, so I want you to hear a very clever...
Oh, pardon me, Don. Hello? Who's calling? Sam's Supermarket? He did? Oh, well, thanks. Thanks very much. Oh, Rochester.
You call me, boss?
Yes, the clerk at the market called and said that when you were there, you left one large can of on the counter.
Shall I go get it?
Well, certainly. It might be something we like.
Okay.
Now, Don, what is this clever idea that you...
Oh, say, boss.
Now what?
We're going to have to get a puppy.
Why?
The last can I opened up was ideal dog food.
Dog food?
This time I found out before I put the poached egg on it.
Well, good. Now, Don, what's this idea of yours that you think is so clever?
Well, Jack, since everybody's talking about the Academy Awards, I made up something about the pictures and the stars who were up for Academy Awards. Because you were there.
What's that got to do with it? Of course I was there, and I took Mary with me.
Yes, but it's the last time I'll ever go with you.
What?
Why, Mary? What happened?
Well...
Mary.
Quiet, Jack. I'm going to tell him. Well, Don, Jack picked me up at my house. We drove down to Hollywood, parked the car, and we were walking to
You know, Mary, I should have had Rochester drop us off at the theater before we parked the car.
Oh, it's only a short walk, Jack, and besides, I want to talk to you.
What about?
Well, you've been taking me to the Academy Awards for many years now, and tonight, when you go up to congratulate the winning actor, do me a favor.
What?
Just shake his hand. Don't say, lucky for you, I didn't make a picture this year.
When did I ever say that?
You started with William S. Hart.
I did not.
Say, Jack, I want to step into this drugstore and get some cough drops. Have we got time?
Oh, sure.
Well, let's see. Where's the drug counter?
Right over there. Don't hurry, Mary. We have plenty of time.
Hiya, Bud. Long time no see.
Huh? Oh, hello. Come on, Mary.
Jack, wasn't
Yes, that tout from Santa Anita. I always run into him. Say, Mary, they have a fountain here. I think I'll get a cup of coffee. Would you like some?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. When you say I beg your pardon, then I'll come back to you.
Bud.
Huh?
Come here a minute.
Who, me?
Yeah. Where you going?
Over to the fountain.
What are you going to get?
Coffee. What?
Get milk.
But I want coffee.
Coffee hasn't got a chance.
Why not?
Wet grounds.
Oh. Well, I don't care. I'm going to get coffee.
Now, don't be a sucker. Take milk.
Why milk?
Look at the breeding.
The breeding?
Yeah.
Milk is on a cow by squeeze.
I don't care. I don't want milk.
Oh, look, Bud, if you don't let it get around, I got something really good.
What?
Ovaltine.
Why Ovaltine?
It's a sleeper.
Well, maybe I'll... Hey, wait a minute. I know what I'm going to get.
What?
Come here a minute.
Me?
Yeah. I'm going to get tea.
Why tea?
Because tea is in the bag.
Well, okay, it's your dough. So long.
So long. What a guy. Why must I always run into...
Okay, Jack, I'm ready if you are.
Fine, Mary, let's go.
Did you enjoy your coffee?
I didn't have any.
Why not?
I didn't like the odds.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Come on, Mary. Here's the theater.
Gee, the lobby's crowded.
Yeah, everybody in pictures seems to be here. Boy, these Academy Awards are really something. Look who's here. Danny Kaye, Betty Davis, Marlon Brando. And there's Irene Dunn, Joan Crawford, Arthur Kennedy, Gene Autry. Gosh, everybody is.
Look, Jack, there's a radio commentator doing a broadcast right in the middle of the lobby. Let's go over and listen.
Oh, yeah.
And so tonight, everybody who is anybody in Hollywood is gathered here for the annual Academy Awards. Ladies and gentlemen, I shall do my best to bring you some of these celebrities. Oh, here come some famous actors walking by. I'll see if I can get them to say a few words. Mr. Jimmy Cagney, would you please say a few words over the air?
I'm very happy to be here tonight, and I'm sure this is going to be another great occasion.
Thank you, Mr. Cagney.
Gee, Mary, remember Cagney and Yankee Doodle Dandy?
Yeah.
And now coming up to the microphone is Mr. Lionel Barrymore.
This is really a great night for Hollywood, and I know that the ones who win the awards will deserve.
Thank you, Mr. Barrymore.
Gee, he's a great actor.
And here we have Mr. Edward G. Robinson. Hey, Mr. Robinson, would you say a few words?
Sure. I'm very happy to be here tonight. See? And I'm here to see these actors get a fair shake, see? And don't forget it.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson.
Hey, he's tough, isn't he?
And now Mr. Gary Cooper.
Yep.
Gee, Mary, I had no idea that Gary Cooper was that tall.
Neither did I.
And he's so distinguished. Look how gray his hair is.
Jack, that's snow.
Oh, he really is tall, isn't he?
Ah, ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed fortunate. Coming up to the microphone is one of the candidates for the Best Acting Honors, Mr. Humphrey Bogart, nominated for his splendid performance in African Queen. Tell me, Mr. Bogart, do you think there's any chance of your not winning the award tonight? Ooh, I only asked.
Well, how do you like that? Say, Mary, I wonder if he's going to interview me, too.
Quiet, Jack. Jimmy Stewart is walking up to the microphone.
Jimmy Stewart?
Mr. Stewart, would you please say a few words to the radio audience? Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. James Stewart.
Oh, well, yes. I'm very happy to be here tonight.
Mr. Stewart, before you go, I'd like to ask a few personal questions. Didn't you recently have twin girls?
Well, yes, I did. That is, my wife did.
They're the cutest things, but so confusing.
What do you mean confusing?
Well, last week I bought them a little horse, and they take turns riding it. And it's kind of hard for me to tell which twin has the pony.
Ooh, what an awful joke.
Well, you better think of a better one. The announcer's motioning to you.
Oh, yes. Come on, Mary.
Oh, Jack, wait for me.
Take my hand, Mary.
Well, Jack Benny!
Yes.
How do you do, Miss Livingston?
Hello.
It's a pleasure to have you with us.
Well, thank you.
You've been coming to these Academy Awards for a long time, haven't you, Mr. Benny?
Yes, I certainly have.
Well, tell me, Mr. Benny, what are your future picture plans?
Well...
He expects to see Quo Vadis tomorrow night.
Mary, please, this is an interview.
Mr. Benny, the last picture you made was a Western called The Horn Blows at Midnight, wasn't it?
A Western?
Yes, I was at the preview and I remember hearing gunshots.
That was the Warner Brothers.
Fortunately, they missed each other.
Now, Mr. Benny, would you care to make any predictions as to who will win the Oscars here tonight?
No, there's so many wonderful actors and actresses up for them, but in the musical awards, if the song I wrote...
Thank you, Mr. Benny.
What a song. When you say
Mr. Benny, get away from the microphone.
Then I'll come back to you.
Mr. Benny.
When you ask me to forgive you, I'll return. Like the swallows at Serrano.
Mr. Benny.
Return
Get away
to
from this
Capistrano.
microphone.
Stop pushing. For you, my heart will
Mr. Benny,
always
get away from this microphone or I'll punch you right in the nose.
Take your hands off me.
Now get away.
Cut that out. Now, what are you doing?
I told you to get away from here.
I don't care what you call me.
Jack, come on.
Okay.
Oh, there he is, girls. There he is. Mr. Brando. May we have your autograph?
I'm not Marlon Brando. The announcer just ripped my shirt. Come on, Mary. Let's go in.
Written by Sam Perrin, Milt Josephsberg, George Balzer, John Tackerberry, and produced and transcribed by Hilliard Mark. This is the CBS Radio Network. The Lucky Strike program, starring Jack Benny, with Barry Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester, Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, from the Naval Training Center in San Diego, we bring you a man who was so proud of his career in the Navy, he had an anchor tattooed on the sleeve of his underwear, Jack Benny!
Thank you. Hello again, this is Jack Benny talking. And, Don, you can joke about my career in the Navy if you want to, but I was a great seaman. In fact, I was the only sailor aboard who could be depended upon to batten down the hutches. I remember one...
Wait a minute, Jack.
Huh?
You mean you battened down the hatches?
No, down the hutches. Things were so quiet, our admiral was raising rabbits. He had hundreds of them.
Jack, I meant to ask you something. When you went into the service, how come you decided to join the Navy?
Well, it was family tradition, Don. You see, my grandfather, Lieutenant Commander Hopalong Benny, was in the Navy. And,
Hopalong Benny?
Yes, he was the only man to ride a torpedo side saddle. Poor fella, he never should have dug his spurs into it. He joined the Navy and the world saw him. Anyway, Don... Oh, hello, Mary.
Hello, Jack.
Oh, boy. Am I winded.
Mary, what's the matter with you? Why are you so out of breath?
Well, I just came over here from the Navy Exchange.
The Navy Exchange? Well, that's just a short walk from here.
I know, but it's a fast run with 150 sailors chasing me.
I mean, don't be silly, Mary. Sailors don't chase after girls. That's what it says right here. Sailors don't chase after girls.
They don't, eh?
No.
Tin squins are large butterfly nets, part of their equipment.
Look, Mary, you got nothing to worry about. The boys here are a nice bunch of fellas.
Oh, I know they are, Jack. And did you notice how young they all are?
Yes, but then when I was in the Navy, I was young.
So was the Navy.
All right. Anyway, Mary, you should have been here a few minutes ago. I was telling Don about my career as a sailor during the First World War.
Some career.
What?
You joined the Navy, went to sleep, fell out of your hammock, bumped your head, and when you came to, the war was over.
Oh, yeah? If all I did in the Navy was bump my head, why did they give me that ribbon?
That was a Band-Aid, and you know it.
Look, Mary, you know it and I know it, but you have to tell everybody? Mommy, why can't you just once... Come in.
Mr. Benny?
Yes?
I'm Chief Petty Officer Jones.
Oh, how do you do?
My job is to see that you're well taken care of during your visit here. Now, is there anything special you would like for dinner?
Well, let me see.
Could you hurry it up, Mr. Benny? I've got to go around and ask all the sailors what they'd like to eat.
Oh, I see. Well, what do the boys stationed here usually have?
Oh, some of them order crepe Suzettes.
Uh-huh.
And others prefer filet mignon sauté with a wine sauce.
I see.
And then there are those who are partial to baked pheasant under glass.
Gee, is that the kind of food the enlisted men in the Navy get?
No, but as long as we're on the air, let's do a little recruiting.
Oh, yes.
Well, goodbye now.
Goodbye. You know, Mary, this fella has the right idea.
Well, Jack, I had lunch at the mess hall today, and the food is excellent.
I know.
Oh, say, Jack, we're going back to Los Angeles tomorrow night, aren't we?
No, Don, I've changed my mind. We'll be here on the base till Wednesday.
Why?
Because Tuesday is payday.
Well, look, what's the sailor's payday got to do with Jack?
He's got a jukebox and a keg of draft beer in the back of his car.
Mary.
He flips the light place over and it says Benny's Canteen.
Well, you're a fine one to talk. You're getting 10 cents a dance. So don't be so... Oh, hello, Dennis.
Hello, Mr. Benny. Hello, everybody.
Hey, Dennis, you missed rehearsal today.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I just got to San Diego a few minutes ago.
Wait a minute. You just got to San Diego a few minutes ago? But I thought you left Los Angeles last Thursday.
I did.
Well, what took you so long?
I ran into a lot of traffic in Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City?
Dennis, why in the world would you go from Los Angeles...
Mary, take my advice. Don't ask her. Just drop the subject.
But, Jack, maybe he had very important business in Salt Lake City.
Huh?
Or maybe a relative was sick or something.
Yeah, I never thought of that. Dennis, when you were coming down to San Diego, why did you come by way of Salt Lake City?
I wanted to avoid the traffic lights in Laguna Beach.
Mary, you made me ask them.
Dennis, you better sing your song.
I'll say you better. Avoid the traffic lights in Laguna Beach. That's the silliest thing I've ever heard.
And when I hear
through the starlit skies, I hear a rhapsody. My days are so blue when you're away. My heart longs for you, so won't you stay, my darling, hold me tight and whisper to me, then soft through a starry night, I'll hear a rhapsody. My days are so blue when you're away. My heart longs for you, so won't you stay, my darling, hold me tight and whisper to me, then soft through a starry night, I'll hear
That was I Hear a Rhapsody sung by Dennis Day. And Dennis, I want to tell you that regardless of the silly things you do, I must say you have one of the finest voices in radio.
Gee, I hope my mother heard you say that.
Why?
She thinks you're a louse. Anyway, Mr. Benny, I don't care what my mother says. I like you.
Well, thanks. And now, fellas...
You've always been okay with me.
Well, thanks, kid, thanks. And now, fellas...
You know, Mr. Benny, sometimes I wish you were my father.
You do?
So does my father.
Look, kid, I only try to tell you had a nice voice. I don't want a whole routine out of you. You know, you can't say...
All right, fellas, you can stand up and cheer. This show will roll now, because Harris is here.
Say, Phil, you really got a reception on that entrance.
Yeah, would you believe it, Jackson? The last time I made an entrance like that, the people just sat there and stared at me.
When was that?
This morning when I got on the La Jolla bus.
Well, imagine getting on a bus and going into your act.
Well, what's wrong with that? Last week you stood on the dock playing your fiddle when the Essex came in.
Well, it was my patriotic duty, and the boys all cheered me.
Well, they should. Who else could play Anchors Away and dive for pennies at the same time?
Oh, Phil, stop exaggerating.
He's not exaggerating. I saw you swinging around in the water.
Then why didn't you speak to me?
With those bifocals, I thought you were a halibut.
Halibut.
What's your language?
Oh, be quiet. You know, Phil, you'd be much better off if you didn't pay so much attention to me and devoted more time to the boys in your band.
There you go in my band again.
Certainly, we came down here to play the Naval Training Center. At least your boys could look decent.
Now, wait a minute, Jackson. They can't afford to buy new clothes.
Well, at least swab them down. Swab them down. Look at Remley sitting there.
Hold it. Just hold it a minute, Jackson. Don't say nothing about Remley. The day of all days.
Why not?
Well, yesterday, Frankie's favorite uncle died.
Oh, that's too bad. Was it unexpected?
No, the judge told him exactly when it was going to happen.
Look, Bill, I don't want to have any more nonsense. We have a very important sketch to do tonight, and I want to get started with it. Don, will you announce our play? Oh, there's the phone. Excuse me. Hello?
Hello, Mr. Benny. This is Rochester.
Oh, hello, Rochester. What did you call me for?
Well, I'm over here in your room at the El Cortez Hotel, and I think you're in trouble with the manager.
Mr. Stillings, why? What happened?
He got a little upset when he found out you rented your other twin bed.
Oh.
Then he got aggravated when he found out you were doing laundry in the bathtub.
Gee.
Then he got red in the face when he found out you were running highlight games in the hall.
God.
And when he found out you opened the gee-dunk bar in the kitchen, he went to pieces.
Oh, that's awful. How are things in my living room?
Not so good. One of your barbers just quit.
Oh, well, have one of my writers take over his chair.
Yes, sir. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh, say, boss.
Now what?
Don't hang up yet.
Why?
I just looked at your radar screen.
What about it?
Get your fiddle ready. There's another ship coming in.
Thanks, Rochester. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for all the boys stationed here at the San Diego Naval Training Center, we're going to do a sketch. Set the scene, Don.
Okay, Jack. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time on any radio program, we're going to present a biography based on Jack Benny's actual experiences in the Navy during World War I. Music.
In the year 1917, I enlisted in the Navy. Before I left home, I spent the last few hours with my family and friends. Then I went next door to say goodbye to my sweetheart. This only took me 10 seconds. I wasn't a sailor yet. When I arrived at the Great Lakes Naval Training Center, I was examined by one of the Navy doctors.
Your name?
Jack Benny.
Birthplace?
Waukegan, Illinois.
Age?
16.
16?
Yes, sir.
But you've got gray hair.
Oh, darn it, I put on the wrong one this morning. I'll be a blonde tomorrow.
Your height?
5'10".
Your weight?
145.
Color of eyes? Oh, they're blue, aren't they?
Bluer than a sailor on his first night in boot camp. Now, Doctor, you've got my records here, so tell me, do I get in the Navy or don't I?
Well, son, I'm sorry, but I have to report some bad news.
For me?
No, for the Navy. You're in.
And so I was in the Navy. I became a part of Uncle Sam's fighting forces. The next thing I did was to report to the supply depot to get my uniform. When it came my turn, the sailor in charge looked at me and said,
"Well, how did you come to join the Navy?"
What did you say?
I said, how did you come to join the Navy?
Well, I've always been the adventurous type. I love to travel. I love travel, romance, foreign countries. And then I saw one of those signs saying, join the Navy and see the world.
Isn't that a coincidence? That's the reason I joined the Navy 18 years ago.
And have you visited any distant lands?
Yes, twice I've been to Tijuana.
Well, lucky you.
Now, here's your uniform.
Hey, just a second. You don't know my measurements. I take size 34, please.
Really?
Yes, I have a 33 waist. 29 pants leg. And 32 and a half sleeve length on the jacket.
I'm glad you told me.
Would you like your uniform in any particular color?
Well, yes. Would you happen to have something in blue? What?
Now take this and keep moving.
Wait a minute. Where do I put on my uniform?
Right here as you're walking along.
As I'm walking along, what about my old clothes?
Just drop them. We have chambermaids who come along and take them up.
Oh.
Come on, men. Change into your uniforms, all of you.
There, I've almost got mine on.
You're good.
Would you mind buttoning me up?
That goes in front.
I'm sorry.
Given me a uniform and transferred me to the San Diego Naval Training Center. After putting in 6 long, hard weeks in boot camp, I was given my first leave. I was tired and run down and wanted a rest, so I went to Sherman's. I went there with my friend, Curly Harris.
Oh, bartender.
Yeah?
I'll have a lemonade.
A lemonade?
Yes.
I'll have a tequila.
Say, Curly, that's a Mexican drink, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, there's your tequila. Thanks. Well, here's looking at you. Smooth all the way down.
After 2 hours at Sherman's, I stepped over Curly and went back to the base. On my way back, I got lost. Realizing I needed help, I looked around till I finally found an ensign. I walked over to the ensign and said,
Excuse me, sir, but how far is it to the San Diego Naval Training Center?
I don't know.
Well, am I walking in the right direction?
I don't know.
Well, for heaven's sake, where is the Naval Training Center?
I don't know.
You don't know anything. A fine sailor you are.
I'm not a sailor.
Then how come you're wearing that blue uniform?
What uniform? I lost my clothes in the crap game and I'm cold.
Since I couldn't find my way back, I decided to stay away and enjoy myself. But a week later, I was back at the base, and because of the things I had done, I found myself up before the Admiral, facing a court-martial. The Admiral looked at me sternly and said,
Were you AWOL for a full week?
Yes, sir.
And didn't you get into a fight with 2 shore patrolmen?
Yes, sir.
And when they tried to take you to the brig, didn't you bang their heads together and knock them out?
Yes, sir.
Do you think that was nice?
No, sir.
Well, watch it next time.
The Admiral let me go with no more punishment than a stern look. The next day I was walking down the street when all of a sudden a girl said to me,
Oh, sailor,
Yes?
did you drop this handkerchief?
It worked. I now had a girlfriend. We went together steadily for 6 months. Then one night I said to her,
Honey,
Yes, Max.
pucker up. I'm going to kiss you.
Okay.
There. Have you ever been kissed like that before?
Yes, I have a mother.
My romance with this beautiful girl was short-lived because 2 days later I completed my training and went aboard my ship. What a thrill as we prepared to sail. Finally, we sailed. We were underway for just 5 minutes when suddenly I began to feel terrible. I rushed to the doctor and said,
Doctor, I feel terrible. I'm sick.
My head is going around. I'm dizzy. My stomach is upset. I feel awful.
Well, congratulations.
Congratulations? Why?
You're the first sailor who ever got seasick on the Coronado Ferry.
That is my story. He gave me 2 APC pills. He told me to go to my hammock. I went to sleep, fell out, bumped my head, and when I came to, the war was over. Thus ended my naval career.
The Jack Benny program is written by Sam Perrin, Milt Josephsberg, George Balder, John Tackerberry, and produced and transcribed by Hilliard Mark.
This is the CBS Radio Network.